the first 3/4 of the first half of this game. And I was file in the back of my mind, and we talked about this a lot on the live show, is like the Knicks should be ahead by a lot more considering how
Oh, yeah.
poorly they're playing. And over the course of games, even these things generally improve. They regress to the mean. And once the Pistons were able to get going, once they were able to get some stops, and but more importantly, just not fall on their faces offensively, they've been dominant.
Yeah, and the Knicks, I mean, maybe they can figure out a way to win this one. You can see that the Knicks didn't score too well in the third quarter. Lots of missed layups both ways, which was a huge issue. There's another one missed by the Pistons. We'll get into the game here. And this is going to be
an offensive foul.
Is it an offensive foul? I mean, now they gave that exact same call to Jalen Brunson in the first half, so it would certainly be consistent. Brunson is sitting on the bench still. He hasn't gone to the locker room. He's got his knee is bent. He looks like he has something on his right knee. Maybe he's going to try to come back and play. I mean, that would be pretty incredible. Jimmy Butler did finish that game last year for the Heat with an MCL issue. Remember, it was a very similar play against Philly in the play-in last year. But then he was out for the playoffs after that, too. We'll see it. Brunson, even more so, is reliant on really stopping and starting, being on the ball to have an effect than Butler. There's Payne. Duran came over with a beautiful contest without fouling. Pistons up 9. Hardaway, no dip. Tim Hardaway Jr. may hold the NBA record for most open threes by an allegedly good shooter in the playoffs that completely disappointed his home crowd by not going in. Hardaway trying to front OG in the post. Cade looking to come over and help. OG goes to the fadeaway instead, missed it, tipped out nicely by Schroeder to avoid the offensive rebound. Here's Cade coming right downhill. Can't stop him like that. That was a foul, and it is.
The stat of the game so far, the Knicks
come back in. He's got a brace on. Is he wearing like one of those Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid braces? I struggle to see how he could possibly be effective here. It'll be, if he could play with this thing, it'll be heroic.
So the stat of this game, Knicks in the second half are 1 for 14 on shots in the paint. And there's a mix of things there. First of all, they let a ton of contact go, particularly in the second half and the third quarter. But I was very disappointed by the Knicks coaching staff and the Knicks players for just not understanding that the Pistons were packing the paint and they weren't calling anything and just adjusting from that. It's not the only thing the Knicks can do to have successful offense is just like drive the ball into the paint with 3 dudes there, and their offense is falling off a cliff.
So no brace on there for Brunson, it looks like. And he's trying to get it warmed up. Pretty ginger. We'll keep an eye on him. He's guarded by Schroeder, not the annoying pest you want to be guarded by when you're coming in. Schroeder just trying to get into his body already. Brunson not really trying to move here on this first possession. They try to run a pick and roll with Towns instead. Goes right into Brunson, had nowhere to go, and he just loses it out of bounds. Great job by by Jalen Duran getting through a screen, not something a big man often does. Here's Cunningham going at Brunson and pick and roll, but he throws it away.
That was a great read by Mikal Bridges. Saw the pass cross court and just took it.
Knicks' wings have been good. Here's Brunson looking pretty good on that drive.
Wow.
Airmailed that layup, and then Hart goes absolutely flying on the rebound attempt and a foul on the Pistons.
Yeah, Hart beat Jalen Duran to the spot. Duran kind of hit him in the side. That was a pretty tough fall. Not the hardest fall by this year's playoff standards, but pretty rough. Oh, fortunately, he hit his leg and his arm kind of before he hit his hip there. I mean, his arm might be
almost landed on Duran's bad. Why do I keep messing those guys up? Brunson's bad knee too. Yeah, I guess they're both Jalen's. So Brunson has it here. Looks like they're just going to run the normal thing through him. Yeah, he changes speeds and scores. Already looks okay. He still is having trouble running down the floor. This is really would be an incredible performance. And maybe he just was shocked by it. There's the denial by McBride, goes awry, backdoor Beasley, and he gives the too small sign after finishing at the rim. Now, with Brunson looking okay, Knicks have a lot of work to do. They tried to get Hardaway onto Brunson. Spin move, nobody there for the help. Terrible defense by the Pistons that time. Shooter off the pick and roll. Good job by Bridges getting through it. Now Hardaway will run it with Duren, guarded by Brunson. Weak side. I think we're going to get a timeout by JB Bickerstaff. Really was not happy with that offense. He's got a timeout to burn, so a good chance to do it here with 7 on the clock.
Pistons have 3 timeouts remaining, but have used their challenge. Knicks have 4 timeouts left and have their challenge. I mean, the 3-point
for me.
The Pistons currently are shooting 4 of 24 from 3. Hardaway and Beasley are 2 for 17, but that's significantly better than rest of team, which is 0 for 7. It's been an eventful game. Robbie, Lakers keeping the same starting lineup. Are you surprised? Yes, because when JJ Redick's a smart guy, and when you're basically like desperate to have one of your subs at the table as soon as the game starts, you shouldn't be starting the guy. Like, that is the way this works. Jackson Hayes isn't providing value, and so I'm surprised because we know, based on the evidence that we have, particularly in Game 3, that Redick sees this, that the issue, like, that he identifies that Jackson Hayes is insufficient. But so I think starting him, not only am I surprised by it, but I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, to me on that one, there's a feeling maybe, we got to find a space for him. And the Wolves starting lineup is their worst spacing lineup. So maybe the feeling is we got to get some minutes out of him. Let's just do it at the beginning. But obviously it's been a struggle. The other time they could look at is when Gobert comes back in at the start of the second and start of the fourth. But they usually have Reed in there with him at that time, so that maybe they feel like they're just too spaced out.
I can answer this one from K Falls pretty quickly. Why don't we get exact details on coach executive contracts like we do on players? Because they don't want to, and because they don't affect transactions, which people care. Like, they don't affect transactions like the salary cap and all that. There isn't a public rationale in the same way that there is for players.
It's just not as available to many people. Like, the league has to review all of them, I think. But any person who works for a team can get that information easily. There's a database of every player contract, and as soon as it's signed, it shows up in that database. There are people who have logins to that who don't work in the league as well. And also, like, it gets reported because the agents really want it out there.
That's true.
And I don't think that coach, we've seen more on the coach stuff recently, which actually, honestly, the transparency would be good, right? But what they don't want out there is the length, because they don't want people to know they're in the last year of their deal. Particularly, honestly, they don't want the players to know that the guy's in the last year of his deal. Because then it's like, he's not going to be here next year. I have to listen to him. It's the theory. All right, back to work here now. What are the Knicks shooting in the paint right now? Because it seems like they just got every single layup blocked in that.
So they were at one point, they were 1 for 14 in the second half. Now they've made a couple, so now they're a whopping 3 for 18 in the second half.
In the paint.
In the paint.
In the second half.
In the second half.
That's unbelievable. Here's a 3 by Beasley. Oh, that's a beautiful ATO. That was a huge timeout from JB Bickerstaff. A possession was going nowhere. He drew something up for Malik Beasley, and he cashes it out. That was huge. JB Bickerstaff just got his team 3 points. Here's Bridges on the attack. McBride going to try one-on-one against Beasley. Hart closed down nicely by Duren. Nowhere to go. Cunningham almost had the steal, and instead, Bridges hits an impossible fading 3 in the corner. What a shot. With Anunoby getting a break, Cunningham guarded by Bridges. He's feasted in this matchup in the series. Now they're going to involve Hart in the screening action. They just switch it. Cunningham picked up his dribble. He's looking a little tired. They're going to let Asar go right at Bridges, and he did not draw iron. And the Knicks accelerated into the front court. Pistons didn't get back. Cade's starting to look a little tired. We've seen him run out of gas. He had an unbelievable third quarter. He splits the pick and roll. Oh, what a look! And then it's Thompson throws it away. Thompson had a layup.
Well, or he could have gotten that out to, I believe that was Beasley, for a pretty clean
Right.
look.
Well, that's what he was trying to do, and then he just threw it away. But he just could have had a layup. There's no one in front of him. Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest weekend for the Thompson twins in their first playoff action. Cunningham was also huge on defense in the third. Brunson waves Bridges away to get the spacing he wants. He'll try to ISO, goes right by Schroeder, no help at the rim at all.
Yeah, and I think the Pistons could have reacted that. Cade especially could have gotten there.
Well, and that happens because Duren is on Towns, and Harris has 5 fouls. They put Harris back in, but they don't want him to guard Towns because he has 5. Cunningham used his body, left it short. Nice rebound by Hart against Duren, who was big on the offensive glass in the first. Brunson goes through Cunningham, leans backwards, rebounded by Duren. Oh, he lost it. What is this going to be? It's going to be stay here. Yeah, for those of y'all joining us late, JB Bickerstaff used his challenge. It looked like Hart actually knocked it out of his hands there. JB Bickerstaff used his challenge when it was 10-8 in the first. And on a play where Cade Cunningham lost the ball, maybe he thought it was going to be a foul. Cade motioned for the challenge. Bickerstaff would have been better served to just let that go. Here's Bridges. Same shot he just hit. Same shot he just hit again.
And the Pistons lead is down to 3. It was 10, I think, when Brunson checked back in.
Yeah, and 11 after that Beasley 3. It's been 8 straight points for New York. Pistons have had their chances. Here's Cunningham off the blind pig. Towns stopped him. No, foul. That Bridges tries to raise his hand. We'll see whether it's a 5th on Towns or Mikal Bridges. Now they're going to get Bridges from behind here. So Cunningham getting to the foul line. Looks like this is going to go down to the wire just like yesterday's game. And the other thing that's going to loom large, we didn't talk about it because of Brunson. Schroeder gets a steal in the backcourt with under 5 seconds remaining at the end of the third quarter, has a chance to go in for a layup. Instead, he leaves it for Hardaway Jr., who then went for a dunk that was ruled late.
Yeah, that's
like Schroeder, if he had just accelerated and laid the ball up, he would have made it. Schroeder now pressuring Bridges. And the matchup on Brunson is Cade Cunningham, Danny. Cade Cunningham is taking on the challenge of Jalen Brunson right now. Brunson will try him. Cade contests. Brunson with a beautiful floater. Man, he looks good as new.
But I really worry about Cade Cunningham tiring out. He's already looked a little tired, and to be the guy on offense and defense right now.
Cunningham goes for the hook shot. Bridges stopped him. Back to Schroeder. Schroeder's been quiet offensively. Gets McBride in the air. He almost got a foul on him again. Late clock, Beasley has to create tough fadeaway. He does hit the rim. He complained to the referees. Now he's not back. Hart going in on Cunningham, who fouls him.
That's only the second foul on Cade Cunningham. Players who are in foul trouble: Tobias Harris 5, Karl Anthony Towns 4. Everyone else should be okay.
Yeah, and that's just not good enough mentally by Malik Beasley. You're taking an impossible shot. Yeah, you might have got fouled, but he moves instead of getting back. He moves towards where he thinks the referee is to go complain.
In a game that is this close, this late, I mean, that's just terrible decision making from Beasley. ZDH, is Detroit's defense this good or is the Knicks offense this stagnant? Yes. Yes. Both. I've been disappointed. I mean, when the Knicks have gotten out in transition, it's been better, but their half court offensive process, especially in the second half, has been pretty abysmal. And they were better, especially in the first quarter of Game 3. But broadly speaking, I think the Knicks' offensive process has been very bad in this series.
Yeah, I'm just doing some social media stuff. Feel free to take a comment or a question.
Hey, I got knocked out for some reason.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, take a question. I'm gonna just tweet us out here.
From Robbie, with the talent gap, if the Knicks have high hopes, they should win this series easily. That's right. I mean, the Pistons, that does undersell their defense. I mean, they are a competitive team there, but I agree. I mean, I think if the Knicks are the team, like with the talent disparity, and it's more the talent disparity than like execution or anything like that, but they are the better team, and in the playoffs, you don't have to lean too much on your bench. And other than Beasley, shooters played well. Like, I mean, the Knicks have enough. They have enough players within a theoretical rotation, so it's not like the Nuggets last night where they just can't play anybody on the bench. So yeah, yes, they should be winning the series. But for those of us who weren't really believers in the Knicks as a playoff threat, this has been pretty good confirmation. And while the Celtics are dealing with their own battle, and we'll have game 3 of that series, or sorry, game 4 of that series later today, they should be pretty excited about facing either of these teams in the next round as things look now. Let's see if we have any questions on YouTube.
Should Beasley be the starter or Hardaway Jr.? The answer is Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some thought of like, oh, he was so good in this 6-man role. You don't want to change that. But no, Hardaway Jr. is they don't have enough shooting on this team overall. Hardaway Jr. is just not a good enough shooter to be a designated shooter given his other limitations. Although I will give him credit to for the fact that he's improved defensively under JB Bickerstaff. But
so people shared a couple of quotes on Kleiman's presser. Admitting that they should have picked up Laravia's option is both correct and not the type of thing that a decision maker always admits. So I'm supportive of that. But I was surprised that Laravia worked his way into being a rotation caliber player for the Grizzlies. But the team getting unintentionally younger for the Grizzlies, I think that's a little bit of. I mean, obviously, I'd like to see the full context from Kleiman. I think that's a little bit of obfuscation when you consider some of the decisions that they've made.
I mean, I do agree they aren't one gritty veteran away from winning a championship.
Championship? They can't even win a round.
Can't even win a game in a round. Yeah, well, and obviously the smart trade. Everyone would have to agree that didn't work out either. All right, so back to work here now. 5:23 left. This is basically your series here. And Hart misses the free throw. He's been pretty reliable from the foul line. Let's see if Cade Cunningham has anything left now. And I think is a big problem for me is that they're not going to put Harris on Towns. They blitz Cunningham in the pick and roll, no advantage. Rescreen to get Brunson onto Cade. Bridges almost got it from behind. That leaves Hardaway open. Another miss. No, it dropped somehow.
Even his makes or misses, but that one goes in.
Chauncey Billups is there applauding the Pistons.
He's
the coach of the Blazers.
Yeah, but the Blazers are done.
I guess it's okay. I guess you're allowed to still root for the Pistons. Here's Brunson again. He's making that same shot over and over again, heading right and then backing up, making impossible fadeaways.
Yeah, I guess you didn't see it during because they showed it. Billups, Ben Wallace, and Isaiah are all sitting together.
Cunningham got it taken away. Whoa. That time Bridges did get him from behind. They're going with Bridges right now on Cade. And Anunoby has the size advantage that low on shooter. They kick out of that. Hardaway is matched up against Brunson. Brunson's tough step back left. Oh, baby!
Wow.
Tie game. Brunson, what a heroic return this has been. They're going to try to involve him in the pick and roll right back here against Schroeder. Double screen coming up. Schroeder switched onto by Brunson. Schroeder gets right. Brunson cut him off. Step back left. And it's good.
And I think Jalen Duren, if you're not getting the ball there, he should be working into better position for an offensive rebound. That's going to potentially loom large later in this game.
Now Brunson guarded by Schroeder. Asar Thompson is not in the game right now. Brunson works to his spot, and he left that short. Hart knocked it out, but it luckily went right to Duren. Again, Brunson has all this space right now because Duren is just hanging out up top, guarding Karl-Anthony Towns, asking a lot of a 21-year-old big to help and recover off of him. Here's Cade, got the space on Bridges. Cash. 2-possession lead for the Pistons. Tom Thibodeau will take his use it or lose it.
And we're at the point now with JB Bickerstaff where you should put Tobias Harris back on Karl-Anthony Towns, try to close out this game because, oh no, he fouls out with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left versus playing less. Like, you gain so much of a benefit in your defensive structure by having Jalen Duren not there, by having him not on Towns. Just do it. Now, go ahead.
Why is OG not on Cade right now?
I have no idea.
What is is OG in foul trouble that I just missed?
No, he's not. Anunoby has 2 fouls. Has played 36 minutes, but they all have. So Cade Cunningham right now on 39 minutes. If he plays the whole game, will be at roughly 42. We don't know the exact minute splits, but that's wild. So, Nate, would you have Asar in here primarily to guard Brunson? I would.
He really was struggling offensively. And I didn't think he was that good defensively either because he's terrified of fouling now, so he just doesn't even use his hands. It's like, no, you need to actually know how to defend without fouling. Like, Dennis Schroeder can do it. Like, you should do it too. You can't just put your hands behind your back and not challenge any shot that he takes.
And original Jalen is there to enjoy Brunson and Duren as well.
God, he really is the original Jalen.
Do you know that
it's a great name. Yeah, it is. It's a great name. I remember because I loved the Fab Five. That was when I was like 11 or 12. So I was quite an impressionable youth. I remember like my cat's name was Jake, and I just started calling him Jalen. I loved Jalen Rose at that time. He was incredibly cool at that point, and it's also just a great name. So I completely understand why everyone began copying it. Rate the first round of the playoffs 1 to 10. I think we're at a solid 8 right now. I'm really there's only one series that went to 3-0, right? And that was the one I wanted to go to 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Cavs, yeah, Cavs. That's true. But even that, I've really enjoyed the way that the Cavs have just completely dominated.
And so I'd say for a first few games, we're probably about an 8. But there's real potential in these playoffs, depending on how everything goes, to have some really memorable first round series.
Yeah, and no more injuries too. We thought maybe Brunson was going to be done. Other than Butler, we haven't had anything that's really affected his series, and it looks like he'll be back. And Golden State was able to win without him anyway.
And plus the delight of seeing a healthy Kawhi for me, like that's something I
Yeah,
didn't necessarily get to see.
yeah. I mean, that Ja getting injured, they were going to lose that series anyway. But
Yeah.
all right, so 4-point lead here. Pistons could send it to a 2-2 series. They want to go at Hardaway here. Now Brunson waves away. He wants to go at Cunningham. Cunningham wanted him for a possession. This is a great matchup. OG trying to post up. Weak side. Beautiful pass by Brunson. That's so good right there. They tried to bring, again, that's Duren on Towns. They
Yep.
tried to bring everyone over. That's really good work by Brunson. I think he's improved his process so much to me after game 2, especially he's gotten rid of all the flopping too, and he's a better player for it. Now Cade's still guarded by Bridges behind the back beautifully. Duren in the short roll. Towns did well to get back. Here's Hardaway Jr.'s 3, and that is good.
Whoa.
How dare I say that he misses those shots? Huge 3 right back. Still a 2-possession lead. Now he's got to pick up Brunson in transition, though. They got to bring help over here. Brunson tried to draw the foul, couldn't. But he gets the layup, and he's limping again, but still getting back into it. Hardaway probably set an illegal screen there, gets it back, blows by Brunson, who wasn't even close to getting back to him.
And makes that free throw. So both teams have a foul to give here. They each only committed 2 in the quarter.
All of a sudden, both teams can't miss. Harris is now on Brunson. Harris with the 5 fouls. He's going to need to be careful here. Schroeder's coming over a strong side. Brunson tried to get him in the air. Picked up his dribble in a tough spot. Towns will have to create now. Duren on his right hand. Towns tough fade away. Oh, what a shot! Oh. How did he make that behind the backboard? This game is going crazy right now. They're going at Brunson again. Rescreen. They don't switch it. Cade is now guarded by OG, who got through it twice. Cade working on one of the best wing defenders in the league, and he just curls it out. Knicks can tie it here. Brunson guarded by Schroeder. These guys are exhausted right now. They got to bring more help over.
What are they doing here?
It's too late. Now he kicks it out finally, but he got so deep. OG on the drive. Nice. Peel switching by the Pistons. Here's Towns. Goes to an impossible step back. And that's good.
Oh, my
God. Unreal shooting by Karl-Anthony Towns. And the Pistons need a timeout. This has been some of the best shot making I can ever recall seeing down the stretch of a game by the Knicks.
And Karl-Anthony Towns has been shooting these threes from like a step or two behind. Look at that shot.
He releases that.
Unbelievable.
And then this one, 5 on the shot clock, step back right by a 7-footer. Wow. So now the Pistons have a chance for the 2-for-1. Down by 1. OG is back onto Cade. They've been trying to screen to get Brunson onto Cade, not switching. I think they need to set that screen higher out on the floor. Even if you don't get the switch, you can get Cade downhill where he's most effective attacking, I would say. And Pistons are in a position to get the 2-for-1 here. I don't think you necessarily run the time down, though. I think you just run your offense. You just got to score. You have to make sure you get the shot up before it gets under probably 32 seconds.
Yeah.
So, but you don't want to run it down any more than that. And the Pistons will run it down regardless. So Detroit should be able to get a 2-for-1 here. JB, is he going to go all offense now?
I mean, I think the Knicks, they could potentially go no timeout. So you do run a risk there.
Yeah, but you also have 2 offensive possessions to 1 probably for the Knicks. I mean, I think you just need to score,
And
and worry about the defense later.
no spoilers reminder, if do not put anything in the chat that is ahead of our call.
So this is good by Tibbs. He's taking Towns out. I think they're going to just switch everything here. No, they got Robinson in. Interesting. Cade has it. They screen to get Bridges onto him. They will give up that switch. Cade with OG gapping, then Hart gapping, and that's going to be off his leg. Hart gapped off of Harris. Cade tried to attack through his arm, couldn't find Harris. Pistons still have a 2-for-1, but they now need to get a stop here. And also, Danny, with the out of bounds, they can get Towns back into the game for this offensive possession.
Wait, is Bickerstaff calling another timeout?
I think Tibbs is calling.
Tibbs called it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's going to advance the ball here. So this seems like an unnecessary.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to need that, especially because they still have their challenge left.
Yeah, because they could have subbed in Towns anyway.
Yeah, they got the benefit.
And maybe he wants to talk about what they're going to do defensively on the other side. So the Pistons decided, because they weren't able to get the switch on Brunson, they wanted Bridges to get the switch instead. Now, I don't understand why they can't run a pick and roll at the center. Like you're getting 2 on the ball if it's Towns. Mitchell Robinson will probably be in a drop coverage. You just trust nobody else. This is all about like giving Cade a chance to isolate, but when you're set up like this, Cade's not gonna be able to get all the way to the rim in an isolation. I think you're just like, Cade is one of the best pick and roll players in the game, and you're asking him to isolate it against pretty good defenders. I don't know why they don't just go at the center.
I agree. They have better opportunities than they're getting.
So was that a foul on Hart? I wasn't even looking at that. I mean, they didn't call it, obviously, but
I didn't get a good look at it.
If Bickerstaff had the challenge, he could have challenged the out of bounds and gotten that foul call.
Mm-hmm.
Now, worth noting, too, do both teams have a foul to give? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And the Knicks do have their challenge as well, right?
They do. Is this Duren off the floor? Yeah, I guess.
I think they want to just switch everything here. So, yeah, they've got Asar in. Shooter, yeah, no pigeons out there. No, Duren is
Duren is out there. I see him now.
They get into the backcourt to Hart. Brunson says, bring it across, and then he's going to try to get the ball from Shooter. Pistons can't foul here, or they could give up their offensive opportunity. Brunson running the time down. Wants to get left. Shooter knocked it away, and with 4.3 on the clock, see, it would have been great for the Knicks to have a timeout here now.
Exactly.
Great defense. Schroeder's hands have been awesome, and he did it without fouling.
As the Knicks, would you consider putting in a defensive player here in case the Pistons go no timeout?
Which
just sacrifice a little bit, like, I don't know.
I mean, are you going to take out Towns? I think probably not. So now they're going to have Bridges inbound it, and they want it because they realized there probably wasn't enough time for Brunson to get it back, and they're going to run a different play here. Let's see what they're going to try to run. Brunson's on the weak side. Oh, they send him into the front court. He goes up, and it's missed. Here, Cade is going to push it. Thompson set a screen for him in transition. Cade, oh, great foul to give. That's a really good foul to give there by Karl Anthony Towns.
No one knows how to commit a foul quite like Karl Anthony Towns in a playoff game.
No, but not a good foul.
That was a good one.
It's the first good foul he's ever committed. That was huge. That was a great inbound play, too. Schroeder was going to try to deny. They called that specifically to get Brunson on the move, moved everyone up to midcourt, and Brunson wishes he had that one back because he was open. He could have given him a 3-point lead. So what would the lineup be for a must score? I think I would have Duren out there for offensive rebounding purposes. Unless, I mean, you could try. They don't really have 5 shooters that they can play. They can't really even like put a 5-out lineup out there of the guys who have played in this game. I mean, Hardaway, Harris, Beasley, Cade,
and then Duren.
They don't have another shooter that they can play. The other 3 guys who played are total non-shooters.
Schroeder can make them sometimes. But the
Oh
ball's
yeah, I
going to
guess it
be
would be Schroeder. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you're right. They could go. And the other thing for the Pistons here too is as soon as the ball goes up, everybody has to hit the offensive glass.
Yes.
All 5 guys should be hitting the offensive glass after this. They
Defe
never do it because it's not in your DNA, but that should be something. This is this is we're seeing footage of the last Pistons home playoff win, game 4 in 2008.
Nate, who would you have in defensively here as the Knicks?
It'll probably go Mitchell Robinson for Towns, and then and
Rest
probably take
Schroeder.
out Brunson too. Go McBride,
Yeah, that would be my 5.
and that is I think what they're going to do here. Yeah, they've got McBride out there. Pistons are going to have Duran on the floor. It looks like too, and that's defensible to get an offensive rebound here.
I feel like this is going to be a Cade pull-up too.
Beasley screens for him. Cade gonna try OG. Crossed it over. Got a good look. No, he missed again. Harris on the glass. It's loose and still loose. Hardaway tried to shoot it. Didn't get fouled. And that's it. The Knicks have won.
Is Bickerstaff's trying to say that he was trying to call a timeout?
I think he's saying he got fouled in the corner.
Oh, the Pistons have no timeouts, so that can't be that.
Let's get a look at that replay on Hardaway. And the Pistons crowd is definitely aggrieved that no foul was called. I think they just showed a replay in the arena. Let's see if we get a replay of it here. But Cade, he's had a couple of chances at the end of games here to win it. This is a great look. He just couldn't knock it down. Yeah, Harris, incredible fight. The ball squirts out. Is that a foul to you? I couldn't get a look at it. Let's see it again.
I don't think...
Here, let's see.
No.
Ooh, I think that is a foul. He didn't jump. I don't think he jumped sideways. There was contact there.
You think he was bumped? Here we go. This will be good.
That's a foul. That's 100%
yeah,
a foul.
That's a foul. You're right.
Free throws on that. He's straight up, sure, but he also is just like
he jumped into his body.
Like like Hardaway did not jump into him. That was a terrible miscall.
Ooh, feel for the Pistons there, because that's a 1-point game. If he would have had the chance to win it there, oof.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you had 3 free throws to give him
make 2
lead. Yeah, that is really tough for Detroit. I certainly understand their frustration on that one. I mean, I understand why the call was missed because there's no official who can see that perfectly. But and the manner of Hart's body jumping sideways and kind of in a straight line. And when he got hit, Hardaway, it kind of looked like he was jumping into him, but that's just an obvious foul. So I don't understand whether it was with Brunson, it was the ankle. I didn't see anything happen to his ankle. I thought it was his knee, and it looked like he had like some sort of a device on his knee on the bench, but obviously he was fine here. I mean, maybe it could swell up. So, all right, let's switch it over to the other game.
I already did.
Thank you.
They're antheming.
Yeah, the end of the third quarter play by Schroeder. That's wow. Remarkable. Well, that was a fun 40 minutes. All right, I'm going to grab something to drink here real quick. We'll try to catch our breath. That shot making, though, by the Knicks at the end was unreal.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like we'll have a few minutes here because if they just did the anthem, then they're going to have to do both sets of player introductions. And let me make sure. Yeah, I have the ABC feed on. Okay. Yeah. So we'll probably start in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I think that's a good point for Isaac, that it wasn't the worst missed call, it was just the worst spot for missed call, because it obviously would have swung the result in a more tangible way than a lot of missed calls, because it was wrong and they lost and they would have had a very, very good chance of winning. But yeah, it's a hard call. When Ryan says straight missed call, refs are sad. I mean, that is in it, because remember, we have the benefit of replay and different angles. You're stuck at kind of a fixed spot. The ref is usually pretty close to the corner there. NBA officiating is incredibly hard. I wish they'd gotten the call right. In this specific case, I understand why they got it wrong, even if them getting it wrong is terrible. But yeah, I mean, I feel terribly for Pistons fans and everything else. Right, and I agree with two-way game. Like, and this is pretty much what I always say when a team is down 3-1, which is Detroit can win Game 5. I think they can win any game in this series, but they won't win every game in the series, unless Brunson's injury is more severe. I mean, if that, which I don't think based on how he was moving, but if that prevents him from playing in a game or more than one game, if that ends up happening, I don't expect it, but then it might shift the balance enough. How would you grade Kuminga's start last night? I mean, well below average. He had a couple of nice finishes. I made it probably like a 3 out of 10, something like that. He had a number of different weird mistakes, and rough shots and defensive miscues. And so the Warriors need somebody like him more now than they did before, but he wasn't good enough. And we were talking in the building about whether Kuminga should start the second half, and I was pretty definitive that he shouldn't. So that's a sign that it did not go super well. And I mean, Kerr's best lineups during that stretch did not have Jonathan Kuminga in them. Yeah, from Josh, like, I mean, that's a 99% win probability missed call. It's exactly like it's brutal. It is a brutal, incorrect call. But
yeah. Now, if I'm JB Bickerstaff and I'm like, man, we get screwed by the refs all the time, maybe you hold
keep
on to
your
your
challenge.
challenge
Yeah.
until the end of the game. However, it wouldn't have been challengeable on that because no call was made that could be challenged.
Right.
But I thought the Hart possible foul in Cade, I got to go back and watch that one for the pod of whether that was a foul with like 35 seconds left. Also, the foul to give Karl-Anthony Towns, pretty good.
Clutch king.
That was massive. All right, I'm just gonna take a quick break here to reset, get all my windows in order. We got a long haul here, if the length of these playoff games is any indication.
That's a good point. Okay. And yes, no changes to starting lineup. Jackson Hayes is starting this one. And then the other thing that's unfortunate is the opposite of yesterday, where the tough call, but the right call was made in that circumstance, leads to a close series going 2-2 instead of 3-1. Here, the tough call that is the wrong call makes the series go 3-1, and that's unfortunate. I mean, that's not how any of these calls should happen, but it is just a frustrating ripple.
Yeah, this could be an interesting last 2 minutes report tomorrow.
I've been forgetting.
If they try to say that wasn't a foul, I will be quite aggrieved. Favorite pizza topping? Probably gonna be sausage. A lot of different kinds of sausage too you can go for. It's nice. Which ref should have called that? It's probably gotta be the baseline guy. I don't think the yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not pineapple is a terrible pizza topping. Maybe if you cut it unbelievably thin, it could be okay, but like putting a pizza topping on that has a lot of moisture in it is usually a really bad idea.
It is a challenge. You have to do it. You have to do things differently. It can work, but you do have to. I'm Californian, so of course I'm at least morally open to pineapple on pizza.
Underrated one for me is garlic. So my go-to make your own pizza order is pepperoni, sausage, and garlic and jalapeno. Those are the three or the four things I'll go for.
Ricotta is great too, especially on a deep dish. But ricotta is
Oh, it's
just
so bland.
it can add something.
Ricotta.
Favorite series besides Clippers Nuggets?
Probably this one.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see after this game, but all right. Gobert wins the tip, and we are off. So it is LeBron trying to set the tone, guarding Mike Conley. This is interesting. They're going a different approach here, I think. Have they gone to this before? And they've got Hayes guarding McDaniels. That is different. And they go Gobert into the post. And I mean, like, how did he lose the ball like that? Like, how is that possible to lose the basketball in that fashion?
He
Doncic.
covers his hands in Crisco before every game.
Doncic missed a pretty easy one against Conley. They go pick and roll to get Hayes onto Randall. Randall fading away, and he's going to get a foul call here. I didn't see a ton there. Maybe it was Hachimura jumping into him.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. Luka does look more alive physically, which is valuable.
Yeah, he was rather wan in game one, or sorry, in game three. Randall gets the first free throw to open the scoring. Yeah, by the way, guys, I can't really tell. Are me and Danny's volumes, because I'm using this different mic today, are our volumes close enough to each other?
Good.
All
Volume
right.
some more. Yay.
Great. Thanks, guys. 2-0 Minnesota. Edwards has the matchup on Reeves. Hayes handing off to Luka. Luka into the lane. And Edwards helped out the strong side corner for no reason. They got away with that. Luka off the tip out. Leads to this from Hachimura on the drive. Goes at Gobert. And Gobert stopped him. Hayes trying to keep it alive. Can't get it. Wolves have transition here. Randall going downhill at Luka. Luka stopped him nicely there, actually. Here's a three by Randall, and that was not close.
Windy in the Target Center. And
That
Jackson,
was the last
Jackson Hayes
shot
should
of
be
the game.
subbed out.
In the comments, yeah, it probably is. They tried to post it. They tried to post him up against Austin Reeves, and that was the result. Now Gobert is switching on to Luka. Interesting. They went for the late double there. Hachimura. That was a good pass by Hayes off the short roll. I think they felt like if they could trap Luka out on the floor and force Hayes to make the decision, he couldn't do it, but he did. Now it's Reeves guarding Edwards early on here. That's the other reason this Lakers starting lineup is so flawed. It's not even about Jackson Hayes sucking. It's that then who's going to guard Anthony Edwards? They move it. Randall just airballed the three. Not that time. This time, Gobert in a drop. Luka fires the three. Not close. Luka has gone off in the first quarter of his two healthy games in this series, but he's off to an 0 for 3 start. Edwards on the move against Reeves, goes to the fadeaway, rims it in and out. There's Gobert. Let's do our
Hands
running
on a
count,
rebound.
Danny. That's our first Gobert touch on an offensive rebound that he doesn't actually get. Hachimura fades into the corner. That was poor transition defense by Minnesota. It's tied at 5.
I think Conley was sort of trying to get out there, but didn't impede the shot in any way, shape, or form. So we're
Conley
only
gets
doing
moving.
the Gobert challenge for offensive rebounds.
Yes. There's McDaniels against Hayes, pulls up over him. McDaniels, of course, 30 points. Oh yeah, there you go. But that one though, like
Was
it
better.
wasn't one where he like should have had it. And I do think the Wolves just don't send enough guys to the glass. Like he gets his hands on a lot of these. You could get it if you had another guy there. Here's Reeves on the blow by on Edwards. Hayes floated the floater a bit too far, but LeBron, this is the type of game. I know he was good in game 3, but LeBron James is a veteran of so many playoff series. He knows this is do or die. This game right here is the series, I would say. Down 2-1. This is, of course, one of my favorites. We saw Denver come through in heroic fashion last night. And today, the Lakers have to do the same. Down 2-1. If you're the road team, you really want to be up 3-1 to guarantee yourself a chance of closing the series out at home in game 6. We know what the math is when it's 2-2 in favor of the team with home court advantage.
And JJ Redick did not bring Dorian Finney-Smith in yet.
Yeah, they're up by 2. Why not? Steal some more minutes. Now Randall, guarded by Hayes, goes right at him. Just knocked him backwards. That was awful.
What was Conley doing there? He basically gave up a
Did
run.
someone just put a link to their own their own stream in our comments?
Yes, they did.
Wow, what a dick. Here's Luka off the screen, getting past Edwards into the lane. Good play by Gobert, but then Luka finally baited him. Nice work there by Doncic against the drop coverage. LeBron trying to come all the way up the lane. He's getting into a deep crouch on his defensive stance. Edwards on the step back against Hachimura. Edwards right back to it, doesn't take it. Here's Randall getting kind of past Luka. Luka actually is okay on Randall because he's stronger. Finally, an offensive rebound. And we're going to stay here again. Hayes not pleased. Jackson Hayes may have the lowest ratio of correct complaints to complaints.
They also just called a tech on him.
Yeah, just not what you need from your ninth man. And there's the permanent sub headed to the table. DFS, come on down. Yeah, they're going to call Hayes face guarding Gobert. Edwards makes the free throw. 1 point Laker lead. So they do survive. But it could have been a 2-point Laker lead if Hayes, A, hadn't committed that foul, and B, hadn't picked up a technical.
Who is the worst starting center in these playoffs? You mean other than Jackson Hayes?
I mean, I would want to think about it. Now they go at Luka for the first time here. Randall spaces out. Edwards, what footwork that was. He's going to make that too. That was insane. He did the WNBA step through at a 90-degree angle to the basket and shot a fadeaway off his right foot with his right hand. Reeves behind the back. Hachimura on the pick and pop. Gobert, great job getting out there. Now they move it to the corner. Finney-Smith. Gobert still has LeBron. LeBron, an impossible fadeaway. What does he think he is? Karl Anthony Towns? Mikal Bridges? Now McDaniels tries LeBron. LeBron just shoves him off his path, and McDaniels, no, he stepped out of bounds.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that's not a good idea by Jaden McDaniels to try to overpower LeBron James. Yeah, James hit a ridiculous fadeaway to his right in game 3 as well.
Oh, and we should give credit where credit is due. That last Wolves possession was extended by Rudy Gobert successfully tipping the ball out to a teammate.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing he needs to concentrate on too. Also
That
said he
is
landed
that is
first. That was
exactly
very close.
that is exactly the wrong angle to see what we were trying to see there. His back is blocking the ball. That's all right.
Well, no, it's a question of whether he landed before he
Well, but
you're
you
saying
couldn't
because
see
you
if he
can't see
released
whether he
it.
released it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I was debating whether to keep all my Knicks-Pistons tabs up for later, and I'm like, wait, no, there are way too many games between now and when we record. I'll have to reload everything.
What do you think here this first 5 minutes or so?
Uh, I think that the Lakers have been taking a lot of jump shots, but they've mostly been like jump shots they can make other than the LeBron one. So I think I think it's been about even. How about you?
Yeah. Feels like the Lakers just have a little better energy, but that's the case. Like this Wolves starting lineup is not very good, honestly. It's really DiVincenzo and Reed who come in and change things up for them.
Will Hayes see the floor again? Yeah, he'll play the start. He'll play the start of the third quarter. I don't think that stint was disastrous enough for Redick to move off of it, even though I think he should. Something I'm going to monitor pretty closely in this one is the possession game. So far, there's only been one total turnover, and then even individually credited offensive rebounds. Is Gobert the embodiment of great hands on defense and bad hands on offense?
I don't think he has great hands on defense.
No, he doesn't have like great, like, I guess I'll use the term grabbers. Like he's good at the things. He's good at the things with his hands that you don't have to do on offense because that's not the motions you make. Like what you want is a guy like who's a great rebounder. Like I'm trying to think if like it's a guy who's a great rebounder, but then like can't catch a pass. Like that's kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, Ben Wallace was a great rebounder who couldn't catch anything or finish
Yeah.
anything.
I think
Drummond actually has awesome hands
Yeah.
defensively. He's actually one of the best steals guy ever as a center. Movers up or down the top 10 players based on the playoffs so far.
Kawhi
I
up.
would say so, honestly. Who's up?
Kawhi.
Well, yeah, he wasn't even in the top 10 players, though.
Yes.
I would be hard pressed just based on this to put him in the top 10.
Yeah, and like, I mean, there's a lot of instincts by people, and I'm not criticizing anybody for this to like redefine everything with a very small sample. Like there were people who were talking about like, oh, what about Jalen Green's contract after he had one good game in the series? It's the way things go.
LeBron switched on to out of that split action by DiVincenzo. He'll drive in, finish with the left. Nice play there. And with Gobert guarding Hachimura in the corner, he was able to get to the basket against smaller players. Randall now guarded by Luka in the primary matchup. Randall going right at him. Luka's defended him well. That's the third attack he's managed to shut down. Randall still on the ball, goes to the fadeaway and scores. But that's good enough defense there from Luka, I would say. Yeah, DiVincenzo coming in, replacing Conley. Here's Luka working on McDaniels. Got him in the air.
Oh, that
Gotta
was
stay down on that.
It was such a good fake because it was in rhythm, and McDaniels didn't even fully bite on it, but he bit enough to give him the angle.
Randall loops a pass, not a good one. I thought he should have drawn more help. Now Gobert rolls to the basket. And a foul on Reeves, but now he has to actually convert it at the foul line. Again, though, he was probably lucky to get fouled that time. He exposed the ball pretty well.
I would have loved for Austin Reeves to just fake like he was going to do that and just pull back.
Well, you might as well follow him because
By the way, Mitchell Robinson's free throws today were some of the worst I've seen in months. Yeah, that was fine.
Gobert with the first.
And so we'll see how the defensive assignments change. But this is Naz Reid for Randall, so it doesn't really shift the paradigm too much for the Lakers.
Yeah. Randall had himself a nice start. And what was that, 1 out of 2?
Yes.
Daniels is still on Luka. They'll do a couple of screens. They are not switching this, though. Instead, Luka just kept going. Love the aggression there. That's how you attack a switch, which it wasn't even a switch in the end. McDaniels was still there, but Luka never gave him a chance to get back in the play. DiVincenzo missed that. Luka probably got fouled underneath. Gobert kept that alive, leading to this from DiVincenzo. Nice. McDaniels now on Reeves. They've got Edwards on Luka. Reed has LeBron. They'll set the screen. Gobert on a late switch, pass to LeBron, or from LeBron, was way out of there. Somehow it's saved into the corner. It's Hachimura again. Missed it. James going up, and he's fouled by Reed.
And hilariously, you could argue that that terrible pass actually helped the Lakers because 4 Wolves ran to the ball and they got a better look than they would have.
Yeah, Hachimura really did well to save it in the end.
LeBron's game so far, 7 points, 2 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, and these will be his 3rd and 4th free throws of the game.
At 2 offensive rebounds for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LeBron thought he might get Hachimura going to the rim there. Instead, he was fading out to the corner, but and we've got a 4-point Laker lead now. McDaniels going to try Hachimura. Gets right by him. Up to Gobert. Gobert lost it. Gobert.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, my God.
And then stripped by Reeves.
I can't believe how bad this is. Even I can't believe that he didn't make one of those attempts. And I've been hammering how bad he is on the offensive end for so long. To just, like, was that 3 tries?
I believe it was 3.
So he's right here. He just loses it.
2.
He's right there. Somehow misses.
And then the strip. So I'd say that's 3.
It down and gets stripped. It's just incredible.
By the way, Nate, second foul on Naz Reid there. 2 fouls in 1 minute.
Yeah, that's a problem because they're going to need to play Rudy Gobert. I cannot get over. That's one of the worst sequences I've ever seen.
Look at your hands. They ain't working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he might have got hit on the hand on the strip, but that was a clean strip.
Yeah.
Does he have a field goal? Does he have 1 field goal in the series? I know he has 1 field goal in the last 3 games.
I'll look it up.
Good denial by DiVincenzo on Luka, not letting him get the ball. Reeves is out. Luka is at the controls. He causes the miscommunication, but couldn't get the 3.
No, he has 3 made baskets in the rest of the series.
Edwards gets Vincent switched onto him. Hachimura coming over on the strong side. Good Danny Green cut there by Alexander Walker, but he can't get the 3. Now Luka, with Reed having 2 fouls, going to go right at him, blows by him, and scores easily. Again, Gobert out in the strong side corner on Dorian Finney-Smith, and that's going to be a foul on Gobert.
Yeah, he tried
shoving Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, he tried to put it into Gabe Vincent, and that screen was it was kind of too much shoulder, and it was also too early. Like, he probably could have gotten away with that if it was in the flow.
Yeah, Luka, just one of the best ball handlers ever at his size. He just has such a tight handle, great change of direction, that between the legs move. That is a move that just rarely fails for anybody. That's a really good move. The between the legs crossover and go. And it's really hard to strip it, obviously, too. Great play by Alexander Walker on the weak side. Now with Vanderbilt in, Lakers won't have that 5-out spacing. They're gonna get Terrence Shannon into the game. That's interesting. Maybe
Ooh.
is that due to Reed being in foul trouble?
I mean, that's the most cogent explanation that I can see.
And Gobert is out now. They're going with Vanderbilt. This is Reed is out. So they got Randall at center here. Luca backing down at Edwards. Great matchup. Luca tried to get him in the air. It goes to the tough fadeaway. Probably could have passed that one. Shannon is great in transition, not a good shooter. Randall just has Reeves here. Good help by Vincent. Right back to Randall, just powers it on Reeves. That was a foul, and it is.
It's
Second foul on Reeves.
it's pretty stunning how small this game is right now. You have let's
Stunning.
see. You have I'm trying to figure out who would be classified as the power forwards because Randall's the 5 for
Yeah, probably
from
Shannon and
Luca.
or Finney Smith. Yeah,
That's
and as Reeves there, you got to know that Randall just wants to go through your arm and just stay straight up, rely on someone to help you, make him shoot over the top. Another nice start for Julius Randle, up to 9 points here.
Shot chart for this one: the Lakers are 5 for 6 in the paint, and they are 3 for 10 everywhere else. Minnesota 0 for 5 in the restricted area, 3 for 12 in the paint.
Gobert accounting for 0 for 9 of that.
Sure.
Nice pitch back. Reeves on the drive. Shannon came over. Oh, almost got the steal. Saved DiVincenzo, but Shannon couldn't get up to get it again. Now, Shannon, he is absolutely shot out of a cannon. And they're going to actually say this is Wolves' ball?
I thought DiVincenzo hit it.
Like, look at this reaction for this ball.
Wait,
Yeah, so
how
no,
is
it's got to be
That
that's
has
got
to
to be
be.
Wolves' ball. Or sorry, Lakers' ball.
Yeah. And the Lakers just called a timeout. Yeah, and now I'm going to actually look up what proportion. Okay, so the Wolves are well, actually I could see Gobert anyway. So Gobert is 4 of the Timberwolves 0 for 5 in the restricted area. But that's also a problem that nobody else is getting there. Like that they're not having drives or anything else, but that's part of the consequence. I mean, we talked about it a lot on Friday after game 3 of the series that the having a non-shooting center makes it so much harder for Minnesota's offense. From R. McIntyre, should Alex Len be getting exhumed here? No, he can't. Alex Len was so bad this year that he couldn't even play on the Kings, who had no one else. They were playing Trey Lyles at backup center. So I thought that it was one of the worst signings of the year was Rob Pelinka bringing in Alex Len because it's like at least get somebody who there's a chance who has a pulse, even if it's unlikely. Maybe it's that they're hurt all the time. But Len was truly awful, and he hasn't been much better in the Lakers stint that I've seen either.
Well, it's not like I mean they waived Cam Reddish to pick him up, right? It's not like
Well,
there was
but
some big opportunity cost.
well,
Like at
it's
least give him a
signing
shot.
it's signing anyone else. Like he had maybe some of the
Who else though? Who would they have signed in the buyout market as a center?
I'd have to think about it. I mean, but my instinct is
Mo
anyone.
Bamba. We saw that movie in LA before.
I wouldn't have called it, but I mean, Kai Jones actually helped the Mavericks.
Yeah, there's no reason to think that would have. I mean, maybe the reason I think it would have happened is just they needed some kind of like rim roller, but I mean they already had Jackson Hayes.
Bismarck says the best second generation player from a star father so far. How are we defining star?
And Michael Thompson. He was the number. Was he the number 1 pick? Maybe he was the number 3 pick.
I think he was number 1.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that did he. I don't think he ever would have made an All Star team. If we defined it as someone who made an All Star team. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who's out there.
I mean, Sabonis.
Yeah, we could call his dad a star. We can call Arvydas Sabonis a star. That's fair.
I like how again that was the one that the original questioner mentioned. He probably, I think he wins, but might not for long.
Let me see if Michael Thompson made an All Star team. There's some bad All Stars in the '80s.
Here, I can get it fast. I'm already on Basketball Reference.
Okay.
No, all rookie, but not an All Star.
Yeah, Cam Boozer. I don't think Cam Boozer will be. I mean, he'll probably. I don't know. We actually never gave our Hoop Summit thoughts as Luka with a beautiful step through and a rare left-handed finish for him. Lakers got to feel good that he is looking excellent early. The other thing they can feel good about is that their defense seems to have shown up. Alexander Walker working on Vincent, drives on him. That was beautiful. No rim protection there for the Lakers that time. Luka gets Randall onto him. Space for the step back, and he drains it. And that time, Luka, he was setting up that step back from the moment he got the ball against Randall. So there's Reeves coming off the corner. Terrible pass by Alexander Walker because he didn't need to guard Shannon in the corner. Reeves. Now Luka kicks it out. Finney-Smith above the break. No, Randall shoved Vanderbilt. No call. Vanderbilt went flying. Randall going right past Reeves with the 2 fouls.
And Julius Randle, 13 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. He's been awesome.
It's a high risk, high reward play to flop like Vanderbilt did. Now Luka, this should be a non-shooting foul. But yeah, going back to that shot by Luka, he just knew he could get to that. And yes, it's technically contested, but Julius Randle doesn't have the length to block that shot. Yeah, this step through was awesome too. Randle probably needs to be a little bit more active when he comes over. Yeah, Doncic has had great first quarters in this series, up to 12 points now. This has not been a high assist series. The Wolves have 3 and the Lakers have 5 in the first quarter. But yeah, I think Luka physically is looking better than he's looked at any point in this series. And with Reed out and Gobert out, there are acres of space for him to attack, especially when he gets Randall onto him. There's nobody to help behind the play. And now LeBron is back in too. I don't know about this from Chris Finch. I might have just gone back to Gobert. There's the missed 3 by Edwards. Randall didn't take it, and he gets it to DiVincenzo. They want to go at Luka, just tries the hard right-hand drive. Luka cut him off. That was a tough shot. Shannon on the glass, rejected by Finney-Smith.
Great job by Finney-Smith going down for the rebound and then contesting. I thought that was a nice rebound by Shannon.
Yeah. Shannon getting back to LeBron. This is going to be a foul. They double team instead to get out of it. Finney-Smith is wide open. He's got a couple now. Lakers looking great here early. They lead by 10. Oh, what a move by Edwards. But then it's taken away from behind. I think Luka got him. Luka going right in. And he smoked the layup.
Oh, that was a great tip by Vanderbilt.
He was thinking about decelerating. Now, Luka actually tried to get back hard. That was a pretty good effort by him, actually, after missing the layup. But Edwards was able to finish it. LeBron going to look for the 2-for-1 here against Shannon. Gets the screen, pick and pop. Finney-Smith looking for another one. Nice box out by Alexander Walker against Jared Vanderbilt, his former teammate. Here goes Randall setting up Edwards, wide open.
Huge
Great push
swing
here by the Wolves.
Yeah, that Luka missed layup. They got a score off that, and then now another three.
Love the way Randall is pushing the ball hard. Edwards is guarding Luka. They want to get DiVincenzo switched onto him. Double team. Oh, DiVincenzo took it away. Here's DiVincenzo. Reverse layup. No. Rebounded Edwards. And he's hacked.
Fouled by Dorian Finney-Smith. That is Finney-Smith's first. And technically Minnesota's in the bonus, but that doesn't matter.
And that's a really bad decision there. Like, what are you setting the screen for when he's playing in a phone booth over there on the side?
Yeah, you're begging for an aggressive trap there, and Luka's a great passer, but that's a hard angle to get it out.
Yeah, it's rare that Luka will be surprised, but Finney-Smith is just as that was a good foul by him though, because Edwards missed one of the free throws. But yeah, look at this. Like, where is he going to dribble? If you set the screen there, it's just not using his brain at all. Now, 6 straight points by the Wolves just when it looked like the Lakers had him in danger. They trap Luka in the backcourt. They're going to get a wide open three, or Reeves
Why did he
doesn't
turn it
take
down?
LeBron gets it. It's Vincent in the corner. And yeah, that was odd. Maybe Reeves just felt like it was too early, but that was not the case. So yeah, great. It was a pretty ugly offensive first quarter for a time. And then as soon as Gobert went out, things opened up for both teams. But that's pretty huge there, Danny. They put LeBron back in. They got both Luka and LeBron out there. No bigs for the Wolves, and the Wolves make up 6 points off the deficit.
Yeah, huge stretch there. And so we'll see what the lineups are. Naz Reid's 2 fouls, I think, are looming large. Gobert also has 2 fouls. Hayes has 2. That matters less. And then Reeves has 2. Oh. So we got a note in the comments on the best second generation guy that Jimmy Walker, Jalen Rose's dad, he counts. He was a multi-time All-Star. But I guess then the question becomes: was Jalen Rose a better NBA player than Domantas Sabonis? And my instinct, as much as like Jalen was a little bit before my time, is that I think Sabonis is better. Because like Jalen Rose, I don't think he ever made an. Did he make an All-Star team? I don't think he did. Fitz should play Gobert to foul him out. So yeah, I would say as of now, I'd probably go with. But there are going to be some players coming up in the next few years that in time will have a chance to challenge for that.
Man, that is a tough call of who is a better player, Sabonis or Jalen Rose. Sabonis has gotten way more accolades. I would probably have to say Sabonis, especially because Rose had maybe a couple of decent years with Indiana. Like, he was very good on Indiana's like 98 to 2000 run. And then he was actually involved in one of the worst trades in NBA history, in which the Bulls traded Brad Miller and Ron Artest for him. And that basically started and then the Pacers actually let Brad Miller, I think they traded him, and they got Jermaine O'Neal. They traded him to Sacramento, I want to say, in 2003. Yeah, I mean, Rose is a better fit on winning teams, but then they gave him a max deal and sent him to the Bulls. That was just an awesome trade by the Pacers.
Yeah. Well, what could be the reason for the low number of successful next gen players? Well, no, it's not. It's that there aren't that many great players who've had kids that have made it that far. I think the numbers on next generation players
Yeah,
are
the
very
question
good.
was whether who's the best son of a star?
Right. Like, I mean,
Like, obviously, Steph, Clay Thompson, like, there are a lot of great guys who are just the son of an NBA player.
right. I mean, Darius Garland is the son of an NBA player. He was all NBA this year. There are a number of different guys that would fit that criteria.
There's LeBron, or sorry, Vanderbilt at the elbow, LeBron coming off the screen. That leaves Vincent open with Conley back in, back out Reeves with the 2 fouls. Gobert is in as well. They're doing another lineup now without Randall or Edwards. And this is a group Minnesota has struggled with. They kind of needed Randall back in, though, with Reed in foul trouble. There's DiVincenzo up to Gobert, and he's turned it over.
Oh, and the bad turnover by
Literally
LeBron.
every time Gobert touches the ball, something bad happens for Minnesota. It's unbelievable.
Jared Vanderbilt is vigorously demanding a challenge here. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
It was a terrible
Really
pass by
quite
LeBron.
the circumference of his challenge signal there. Yeah, it's off DiVincenzo's foot. They
Yeah.
missed that one. Here's DiVincenzo firing a 3. That's the best time. Was that Gobert hitting an offensive rebound, by the way? That's
I
like
think it might have
4.
been.
But, they've gotten some of them, though.
The counter has broken.
Oh, nice play on the weak side. DiVincenzo
Ooh!
got the steal that time. What a play. Alexander Walker for 3. Yeah. Wolves defense turning up here in this quarter. James at the elbow against McDaniels. Deflection. Reeves still got the pass, but he missed the shot. More transition coming here for the Wolves. Gobert sets the screen, tries to roll. That's Reeves' third right there. That was a great flop by Rudy Gobert. He pretended like he was going to set the screen and then slipped out of it and then did the Red Rover Nikola Jokic I'm being impeded foul. But yeah, Reeves has his arm around his back. Now, in theory, this is an illegal screen by Rudy
Yeah,
Gobert.
that's what I would have called. Like, do
Yeah,
you
so,
do you
like,
challenge this as Redick?
ooh,
It would be
tough to
Gobert's.
challenge
It
it
would
at
be
this
Gobert's
point. It
third.
is his third. But yeah,
And
this is an illegal screen by Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
This is a point of education a bit ago that when you try to roll out of things,
it is a challenge.
okay,
Ooh!
I'm fascinated to see how this one turns out because Reeves definitely kind of grabs him, but Gobert is moving and setting an illegal screen. Now, also, Gobert is allowed to just run down the floor.
But I think Gobert slowed down
Yeah,
to produce that and turned. Yeah, to me, that's an illegal screen. Well, and it's a third foul on either gentleman involved. Yeah, that's an illegal screen. That's the way it should be called.
I agree. Yeah, and maybe the way it doesn't get overturned is so who does Reeves wrap him first before Gobert makes contact with him?
No,
Yeah,
second.
see, from that angle, it looks like it's Reeves who gets him first. If Reeves just runs into him and doesn't wrap him with the arm, this is such a tough area to enforce of just when a guy is moving like that, but like kind of not really setting the screen. Where's the foul? But it's so this should be a foul on Gobert to me. But Reeves complicates it by what he is. Because see this angle, you don't see the right arm of Reeves. Yeah, I think this is a foul on Gobert. That's how I would call it. But I'm not going to say either way. What do y'all think in the comments? Who's going to win this one?
Did you see Josh Hart's quote from Bulldog? Did I make contact with him? Yeah, I made contact with him. Was it legal? I don't know. We'll see in the last 2 minutes report.
That's great.
Josh Hart, delightful.
It really is.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you're Rudy Gobert, you can't have your cake and eat it too here. You either stop and you set the screen, or you slip out of there before there's
Yeah.
contact and you get to roll the rim. You don't get to screen the guy and get the advantage of slipping to
Yeah,
the rim at the same time.
it's sort of like in the NFL how had to do some legislation on pick plays because it was the same thing where it was too much of a competitive advantage.
I don't envy the referees on this one. This is a tough one.
And at least it's not Josh Tiffin and his crew calling it, so I'm a little bit more optimistic. Actually, he might have actually called that the way we want because I think the point of education.
Yeah, reminder to those of you on YouTube, this is going to be our last YouTube stream. We're going to be exclusively on playback.tv/ Nate Duncan NBA, but there is a pause button, or you can use, if you're a League Pass subscriber, you can use the VPN and just watch it all in one window. Here we go.
Oh wait, that is Josh Tiffin. Never mind. No, Gobert initiates the contact. This is another one where Josh Tiffin's like, no, the contact, Gobert's arm hits before Reeves reps. You'll see it here. Like, Gobert makes contact first. It's a incorrect factual thing by Josh Tiffin. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I like how explain to me how Austin Reeves is supposed to get around that.
Well, and explain how Austin Reeves makes contact first when they finally showed the angle that Austin Reeves made contact second.
Screen for DiVincenzo. Good job by Vincent getting through that. Now Vincent switching on to Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker lost it. Great defense by Vincent on that possession. LeBron, he just slipped down, and it's loose. Another turnover forced by the Wolves. With Reeves off the floor now with the 3 fouls. There's the 3 in the corner by Alexander Walker. He's been a little hasty on those transition threes, I would say. And another deflection. Was that McDaniels again?
I think it was. Might have
Nice.
been Nikhil. We're probably not gonna see it again.
Yeah, McDaniels got this one. Yeah, 3 turnovers in less than 3 minutes by the Lakers. Luka had to come back in after only a 2-minute rest, and he tried the alley-oop to Vanderbilt. That was speculative before it even hit the rim because Vanderbilt is not exactly a skywalker. Now Luka guarded by Nikhil, gonna back in. And Nikhil got the strip. Almost another turnover, down to 4. It'll be Jordan Goodwin off the dribble. Wolves defense has been awesome here in the second. Now Conley has Luka. They back it out. Vanderbilt looking to come and double. Conley steps back on Luka, and Wolves just Reed is back in right now. They don't have a great creator to go at Luka, and to solve that, they're going to get Randall back into the game.
Minnesota has forced 4 turnovers in the first 3 minutes of this quarter and has scored 3 total points. That could end up haunting them later on.
Yeah, they've missed some quick threes. Yeah, they've gotten the stops, but now Randall, Reed, and Gobert. Wow. We have seen very little of this. Chris Finch lamented not going to this group in one loss this season, but so Luka now guarded by Conley. They're going to try to zone up behind the play with Gobert. Gobert comes to double. Luka tried to get the foul. Instead, Gobert, great defensive hands, took it from him. McDaniels in. He is fouled.
That was a reach by Jordan Goodwin. Good call.
McDaniels hasn't gotten off yet, but
God.
The big way that they were able to take advantage of Luka in game 3 was McDaniels being guarded by him. They would throw it to Luka on the weak side, and then McDaniels was able to just blow right by Luka, and the Lakers have no rim protection. It was a great strategy. Lakers tried to obviate that by putting Hayes on McDaniels to start the game, but we'll see now with Gobert out there, Reed. So is Randall still out there? So this is McDaniels at the 2?
This is
And
McDaniels
then
at the 2.
Conley at the 1?
Yes.
Yeah, what a massive lineup.
And it has enough shooting. So I was going to make an RJ Barrett joke, but they actually have enough shooting. Oh, God.
Gobert! He tipped it, and he got his own tip, and he dunked it. It's happened. And now they don't know who they're guarding. They're going to give up an open 3.
Yeah, they're so surprised.
Wide open 3 for Doncic. That was awful. Because they have this weird lineup out there, they're maybe in some matchups they wouldn't normally be in. Maybe some people thought it was a zone, but that's a terrible mistake off a free throw. Or it wasn't off a free throw, actually.
No, it was off a tip dunk.
Right? Yeah, but still, that it wasn't exactly like burning it down the court. And Edwards is going to come back in now. Is he going to get Conley? Or are they going to take out?
He's getting Conley. So this is now Anthony Edwards
is
the 1.
This is a massive lineup. And Reed just fires the 3. Wolves, and McDaniels is going to get a foul here. The Wolves just need to chill a little bit. These threes are not open. They're not moving the ball. The Lakers are not a great defensive team. You're bailing them out right now. Let's see this foul here. Luka gets it. Yeah, McDaniels just went right through his arm. They fell on his back and also kind of tweaked his shoulder a little bit as that his arm gets knocked back.
Mm.
Nice pressure by Jaden McDaniels. When you can get him to cross the timeline and it's 17, you've done your job there. Gobert in a semi-drop. He gets out there to challenge Rudy Hachimura. That was a great work by Rudy Gobert. Here's Randall on the hard push, and he goes into 3 guys. He's going to get fouled. LeBron can't believe it. I think this will be Finney-Smith.
It's on Goodwin.
What do you think of this big lineup here from, and yeah, obvious foul there on Goodwin. Good call.
I mean,
what do you think of this lineup here by Finch?
I don't love it. The general idea of a big lineup is to potentially help you defensively, but I just think they don't have quite enough mobility. But Naz Reid's one of their best shooters, so it's not like you're losing that.
I'm fascinated to see how this turns out. Double team here. One of the first we've seen on Edwards. Oh, almost a steal by Goodwin. Good job by McDaniels meeting the pass. He goes in, kick it to Randall. Good peel switch by Goodwin, but it doesn't matter.
And that was a much better 3 than the ones the Wolves have taken recently.
Yeah. Off of movement, off of penetration. Now Luka sloughs off Naz Reid and drains his own 3-pointer. Yeah, with this big lineup, I think you really want to concentrate on running them off the line, force them to play in a crowd inside, and then you got guys who have the length to rotate out to shooters. Now Randall going into Luka, turns, corner Reed, good closeout by LeBron, and they get the stop. LeBron on the push, 3-on-2. Luka up for no. Finney-Smith, that's the second bad lob Luka's thrown that's hit the rim. Here's McDaniels working on LeBron. Drives it. Good rim protection by Hachimura. Wolves finishing starting to be wanting here. LeBron throws up the wild shot just to draw the call, and he's going to get to the line.
I don't know that was a foul. I think LeBron just kind of it's his version of the
shooting foul. Is Luka ever taking a corner 3? Yes, a legendary one. In fact, I want to say it was either his rookie or his second year. He had this ridiculous no-dip corner 3 to beat the Blazers with 0.5 on the clock or something like that. I'll find that for you guys at our next break. Force OT, yeah. Yeah, so Gobert out. And who are they going to replace him with? This DiVincenzo is back in. I do think DiVincenzo needs to be in some of these key groups. He'll bring it up, and they got Hachimura guarding him. I don't like that. Why are you putting one of your rim protectors on their best shooter? Reed on the pick and pop. Not there. Goes right to Edwards. What a fortuitous bounce that is. Edwards around Luka, kicks it out. Pass too low. McDaniels recovers. and somehow rims it in.
I like that drive though from Man. I actually thought he was going to try to finish that, but makes a nice pass out to the corner.
Luka pushes it up,
Again.
goes right into a three. Goodwin beat 4 Wolves to the ball. No box out. Here's James, and he's hacked by DiVincenzo. Can't allow the 6'1 Goodwin to get in there. If anyone even remotely makes contact with him, it's no problem.
LeBron's night so far, 15 points, 3 of 3. He's only taken 3 shots from the field, 2 threes, but these will be his 7th and 8th free throws of the game.
Oh, that's interesting. They actually have blocked YouTube, I think. Because I can paste something else in, but I can't paste a YouTube link specifically. That's interesting. Wonder if that's actually it. They've got Vincent now guarding Edwards. This is a very small Lakers group. Wolves have gotten a little bit smaller with Gobert going out. Interested to see if Gobert returns. Good job by the Lakers pushing their defense up the floor. There's Randall going down. What a cut by DiVincenzo, but he airmailed the layup. LeBron throws it ahead. Vincent crosses the formation. Good closeout by Randall. Lakers still filling the lanes, though, and Hachimura captured.
How did none of the Timberwolves get back on that?
Yeah, Chris Finch is wondering that same thing. He's going to take a timeout.
That was like
maybe
that was like a 3-on-1 break for like 15 seconds.
Anyway, just Google if you want to see that play. Luka corner 3 Trailblazers, you find it. How are you feeling about how it's going so far, Danny?
It's been a weird, ragged game.
Yeah.
The Wolves only have the Lakers only. So I was going to say the Lakers have very few points off of Wolves turnovers. With that, and that's right. It's 7 turnovers for the Wolves, and it's only produced 2 Lakers points. I think that could potentially change.
Neither team has been doing anything. That's why it feels so ragged. It's like you have these turnovers, and the team doesn't score on them.
Yeah, and it's not like what game was that? Where I was the double turnovers, where it's like the immediate following one. I think it was a Pistons game a few weeks ago. Yeah, it's been sloppy. I think the Lakers have played better, but only slightly.
How's Minnesota the team that looks gassed? I mean, I think it's just the desperation of the Lakers.
I think the Lakers are playing harder. I also think the Lakers are playing somewhat smarter so far. But yeah, I mean, Luka and LeBron have a combined 34 points out of the Lakers 46, and considering how good both those guys are as passers, and like to me, Randall is the only Timberwolf that has like consistently played well in this game. Anthony Edwards, 9 points, 3 of 6 from the field, only two assists as well. He is their -6 in Edwards minutes so far. Yeah, he hasn't stepped up. I mean, there's the weird thing with Jaden McDaniels where he's had like 2 ludicrously efficient games from 2 in this series, and then the other one was extremely run of the mill. So Jaden McDaniels was last game. He was it 12 of 17 on 2s, and then he was like perfect on 2s, other than the ones he offensive rebounded in game 1. But they game 2, he was 3 of 8, and then this game I think he's 1 of 3. So we'll see where that goes.
Pool report says that there should have been a foul on that play. During live play, it was judged that Josh Hart made a legal defensive play. After post-game review, we observed that Hart makes body contact that is more than marginal to Hardaway Jr., and a foul should have been called. Yeesh.
I mean, it's better than denying it, but it doesn't make the Pistons feel any better.
Yeah, don't even have to wait for Yeah, David Guthrie is one of my favorites. They didn't do a great job in that game, I thought.
I mean, they also like the enforcement of fouls around the rim changed dramatically like midway through that game, which I always hate.
Yeah, that's true, especially in the 3rd quarter. I mean, that stat in the Knicks that you had of them shooting 3 of 18 in the paint in the second half.
Well, I mean, they were one at one point in the third quarter, they were 1 for 14 in the paint. I have it in my
How can
notes.
the Lakers get Reeves going? There just aren't that many people for him to attack. Like, he just doesn't have the athleticism or size advantage on anybody, and there aren't that he also can't really get going like conventional pick and roll, so maybe some off-ball screening for him would be my thought. Oh, that was a nice play by Luca, but then he left Reed, and they're gonna give up another foul. That was very interesting. Luca's defensive effort, I think, has been pretty good. Like, the one play where he missed that layup and sprinted back was actually pretty awesome.
And went for the most ambitious shot block of his career. But yeah, that was a
For
nice
that
drive.
time,
Go ahead.
they tried to take away that Iverson cut by Anthony Edwards, and Luca really jumped the route, but Gabe Vincent was kind of there already anyway, and that left Reed open. That was good recognition to find Reed and let him attack there.
No one really in foul trouble other than Austin Reeves. He has, I guess, Goodwin, but Goodwin at 3, like that shouldn't change Reddick's rotations.
Now it's Edwards back onto Luca. There's LeBron's roll. Good closeout by Conley, and he takes it away from behind, and it's gonna be,
Goaltend.
yes, a goaltend.
Hit
That
off the
was
glass.
Conley knocked it away from behind incredibly well on Vincent, but it went right to LeBron. Unluckily for the Wolves, that was great defense by Conley, and it does in fact
Ooh.
hit the glass first. That is a goaltend.
Um, by the way, that was the 4th Lakers foul, so the Wolves are shooting the rest of the time, even though they don't show the bonus on the graphic.
Vincent has been pretty good on Edwards here. Edwards trying to draw too. They swing it. Good go and catch by Reed right down the lane. Luca fouls him. Luca wants a review, but they do not have a challenge. Yeah, I think this is going to hit the glass first. Yeah, it barely bounced off. You can see there's a slight bit of daylight after it hits the glass. And Luca, I mean, also, Luca, you fouled him.
That's a foul. You hit him on the wrist.
So why is he asking for a review?
It's just force of habit, Nate.
Reed bricks the first free throw. I don't know why he needs to fall forward when he takes his free throw.
That is the 5th missed free throw already for Minnesota in this game. That could loom large later.
Yeah, he's 6 inches away from hitting the ball. 1 out of 2 for Reed, and it's a 6-point game. Edwards trying to make Luca's catch difficult, so LeBron will bring it up. Luca says, yeah, just run the same play, LeBron. They switch Randall onto LeBron. Now out of the corner, Goodwin attacking, trying to post up LeBron against DiVincenzo. They leave Goodwin open from the top. Nice rebound by DiVincenzo. He's such a good rebounding guard. Now the Wolves have transition. Randall on the attack. Eschews the 3, goes right in, blew the layup.
I thought he had Edwards in the corner.
Here's LeBron in transition, missed layups leading to transition. Randall looks at his hands. He can't believe it. I don't mind not making that pass. That should be a 65% shot there for Julius Randle, if not more.
Yeah.
Anything interesting on the shot charts here, Danny?
Take a look. Minnesota 3 of 12 in the restricted area, and only 4 or so of that is Rudy Gobert. So the overall, they're 7 of 22 in the paint. The Lakers are 9 of 14.
Yeah, and then Edwards is just sort of like what is Edwards doing on that play? Like sort of goes for the steal on LeBron and then just like shuffles back. Yeah, James hasn't had to exert a ton of energy offensively. He's just gotten to the foul line on some plays just in the gaps of the game. He hasn't had to just isolate and create much. Here's Edwards going at Luka, has McDaniels in the corner. Instead, this is going to be an and one. He goes right past Luka. That is a blow by given up by Luka Doncic.
And probably the best play of the game for Anthony Edwards, gets a chance to score his 12th point of the game here at the line.
And they get Vincent for the foul. Wolves back within 5 here. LeBron and Edwards kind of getting involved as they go down the court. LeBron finding Luka on the cross screen. He has great position. No double team, no make. Good defense by McDaniels. McDaniels now running the floor. Edwards, he wants to go right at LeBron here. He has got Randall underneath and finds him. Nice play.
That was a fantastic read and pass by Anthony Edwards. Forces the extra tension, and that creates the window for his pass. That's not something you see all the time from him.
Yeah, I thought Luka came over a little too aggressively there. Now he's going to work Randall and score easily. Wolves got to go here. Too slow getting the ball in bounds. Luka's falling down, and they had a chance to get transition off of that. Now, with Edwards being guarded by James, he blows right by Luka again. Another blow by given up by Luka. Once again, Wolves closing the half, it would seem, without Gobert. And finally, yeah, this was coming a long time with Edwards has just been chucking LeBron 6 times down the court every time. And finally, LeBron is going to get some free throws here. Yeah, so like that, those are fouls. You can't just like shove the guy for no reason. He's not even trying to go on it. Yeah, this was the previous possession. At James getting to the foul line quite a bit here. Other than that one in transition, I don't have issue with any of them. And he's been pretty locked in at the line tonight.
Yeah, I think he's 8 of 9. No, he's 10 of 11 after that one.
And that's just one of the ones where Anthony Edwards doesn't quite have the experience. You got to vary up your approach. You can't just continue shoving him every possession. Eventually, the referees are going to get wise to it. Randall guarded by Hachimura, who's back into the game. They've had Reeves on the bench most of the way here. Vincent in his stead. Randall tried to draw the foul, missed it. Not really a good shot there.
And a nice shot by Hachimura getting his hands back. They weren't going to call that foul.
Conley went for the steal. Luka still on the ball, has 2 smaller Wolves, and DiVincenzo and Conley managed to deflect it. Pretty amazing. These teams both have the same number of baskets in the paint, and the Wolves have taken 9 more shots to get there. Sorry, 10 more shots to get there. LeBron now going to try Edwards in the post. Edwards is strong. LeBron on the back down goes right through him, and a foul. Edwards had the arm forward. Good call.
I didn't see it live, but I think you read the angle better than I did. Let's see it here.
Yeah, we'll see it when he goes up for the hook shot. I mean, this is a physical battle. I love LeBron going right at him here, but watch Edwards' right arm is going to be forward. Yep, that's
yeah, there it is. Yep, good call.
Oh, and LeBron finally missing a free throw. Things have gotten disjointed with all the foul calls, but it's also getting quite physical. Gobert will return.
And so I think the Anthony Edwards drive game is going to evaporate for a couple minutes here, which has been so good for Minnesota. It's been the best thing they've had going other than forcing turnovers.
Edwards hasn't really tried to take the 3 off the dribble yet. I think his strategy has been to try to penetrate and or get others involved early, and then he went to that to close out game 3. Finney Smith is now on Edwards. Hachimura switching onto him. Yeah, see, like, yeah, that he's actually giving him that shot. Edwards should take it, and he does. And Minnesota back within 3 now. They at some point, you do need to take that one to keep him honest. I realize why he doesn't want to settle for that, but Hachimura is backing off of him. Pick and roll, Gobert in a drop coverage. Hachimura going at Gobert. Missed it. Gobert gets off the ball to Edwards. He should just go here. Puts Vincent in the mix. Goes in. Fouled from behind. Left hand finish, and he can tie the game here.
And that was a successful drive, but there was more Lakers help around the basket. Edwards just finished through it.
Yeah, but these guys are tiny.
Well, I think that was Hachimura that was back there.
Yeah,
Oh, no, that's DFS.
Finney Smith and Vincent. Yeah, Vincent does get him from behind. Tried to get the arms out of the way too late. Reeves still rotting on the Laker bench, but given his defensive limitations, I understand keeping him out because he would really be someone that the Wolves would be attacking. Edwards well short after getting the MVP chance. And now Edwards will pick up Luka. They've got Randall back onto LeBron. Luka might look to pick up a third here on Edwards. No, Edwards is taking it away from behind. Oh, what a run by James. Uh-oh.
Oh, he jumped into Edwards' knee.
That was LeBron did at least get the ball there. He made an incredible play. That's the second time we've seen that now. This is really bad here. I'm not. It didn't look awful live. We just got to see a replay at this point. I was very glad to be wrong when I predicted doom for Brunson earlier. I hope it'll be the same with Edwards here. And he makes an incredible play here again with Luka. And yeah, he's going to get the knee caught underneath LeBron's body. Clear foul on LeBron. And that is actually looks like maybe more of a.
I think that might be less issue. That might be less scary than I thought it was. The mechanism.
Well, this is an eversion ankle here. Yeah, it looks like this is the foot and ankle. So they get him up. He does look like he's able to move okay. I'm very hopeful he's going to be able to return. Sometimes it's just so shocking when something like that happens to you and you can kind of get your bearings. It didn't look so awful, though, and it's not his knee, I'm almost certain. So I'm cautiously optimistic it's going to be okay.
should it be a tech if a player twirls the finger when they have no challenge? No. I find it funny. It could be a source. It could be for mockery.
Yeah. Should diving at guys' legs be a flagrant like shooter's landing space? This is really tough because you do want to encourage guys to play hard. And it also would require a massive culture change. One of the first things we did in high school basketball on the freshman team was learn how to dive on the floor for a loose ball. Every coach loves to jack themselves off about how hard guys play, and you prove that by diving on the floor for a loose ball. So Edwards got fouled. He's going to have to take these free throws here. And he does hit that. still limping around a little bit. I'm hopeful it's gonna loosen up. But yeah, this is interesting. This is not your normal ankle sprain. It's an eversion. So it means evert means it goes to the outside. Inversion is your normal ankle sprain where it goes to the inside. But I don't know about making that a flagrant. I honestly wouldn't mind it, but it's not. It's one of those things like same thing with the charge where it's just
Or
never going to happen.
I think if the guy's established, like the Cole Anthony one on Jaden Ivey, but you could also
Yeah,
do something where it's an after the fact if the guy gets in. You could even do something like that.
Randall, good defense on Luca, runs him off that shot. LeBron will have to create something. Oh, they loaded too much onto him. Hachimura missed though. He's had a few chances. Wolves have the lead, looking for more. Edwards looking spry. Double team coming hard from LeBron. He backs off of it. Now they want to involve Luca. Conley sets the screen there. They double team. Conley's open. They should have gotten it to him. McDaniel sees him. Conley on the move. Going to go in. Lefty floater is good. That was all happens because of attacking Luca. They've changed up their strategy now. They're not going to let Edwards isolate on Luca. And the Wolves eventually were able to move the ball. Now LeBron switched on to by Gobert. He's going to back out. He's going to look for the 2-for-1 here. Rudy was ready for it. That was great defense by Rudy, but it's tipped out. Down to 10. LeBron is going to try Gobert again. Oh, what is that defense by the Wolves? That's atrocious.
Oh,
That is absolutely atrocious. What are they doing? Are they
like
switching? They're not switching. Gobert and Randall are both just walking. Why wouldn't you switch that, Julius Randle? Maybe because there was no screen. I don't understand what they were doing there. Like Gobert just stopped them. Just switch it again. You're fine. Here's Randall pulling for 3 over Luca. Luca's giving up another bucket. And Minnesota is going to take a 3-point lead at halftime. And we will be back. I need a break after that Pistons game in that first
yeah.
half. Another awesome half in this series. All right, we are back here. I've seen that graphic. I haven't been watching the box score as closely. Luka and LeBron both having over 20 points in the first half. Reeves, of course, barely played. Both those guys played 22 minutes because Reeves barely played.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if they can get going. They run the first play for Reeves. Good switching by Randall to stay on him. And they are starting Dorian Finney-Smith, Danny.
Yeah.
They finally stop fucking around, and Luka gets right to the basket.
Well, and this is a must-win half for the Lakers because if they go down 3-1, even if I think at times they've been the best team in this series, doesn't matter if you go down 3-1, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah, as the home team, it's not a death knell, but the way it is for the road team. Conley, pick and pop. Oh, what a pass there. And they're going to say this is a goaltend. Wow. That's a big call. Is it over the cylinder?
Yes, yeah, it is. Good call.
And was that a pass?
I mean, if it's over the cylinder, if it's over the cylinder, it doesn't matter.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Weak side, Hachimura 3. They need it. Hachimura hasn't been able to cash those out tonight. Rebound was so short that the Lakers got it back. Luka, Conley came over to help. They kick it. LeBron, Conley stepping up to take the charge. LeBron to the corner, and Hachimura finally makes one. Gobert was a little late on that rotation. And the Lakers take the lead here all of a sudden. Yeah, starting off here without Hayes, just to get off on the right foot, particularly with this Timberwolves lineup that itself is not their best lineup. Randall against Hachimura, drives it. Luka, no help. I think he actually got a hand on it, and Luka's saying go the other way. They're trying to figure this out. Randall thought he got fouled, so I think Hachimura hits it.
I think
right
Hachimura touched
there.
That. Just a stray note, but I believe this is. I saw it on Reddit. I believe this is correct. That the same crew that blew the Josh Hart call at the end of this game is the same one that did Boston Orlando Game 3, which was a disaster.
There's Luka on the step back. Gobert tried to come in and get the rebound, tipped out nicely by the Lakers. Hachimura looking for 2 in a row. He's had some chances. Another offensive rebound. Finney-Smith's been great there. And 2 second chance three-pointers now for the Lakers here to start the third.
The Lakers have 9 offensive rebounds, but they have 17 second chance points.
Yeah, Finney-Smith has been good there on some of these long rebounds. Edwards gets Hachimura onto him. Edwards does draw the double, has to throw it up, and that time I think he could have made a pass. Post up LeBron on Conley. Swings it immediately. Reeves, pass fake, cut off nicely by Conley, who rotated all the way off LeBron to him. Conley has been solid with those rotations. Again, they don't switch it. Luka on the drive off the strong side corner. Finney-Smith can't get it. Finally, a rebound. Wolves have plenty of chance for transition here. Randall, nobody in front of him. Goes right in. LeBron tried to chase him down. Randall went flying into the cameras. Hopefully he's okay. Reeves gets it off over Conley, and that's good. Timeout, Chris Finch, as finally JJ Redick going to his best lineup. I thought Randall did have a point on getting hit from behind on that one, but an 11-0 run, and now it's Chris Finch's turn to respond.
Going back to a couple of possessions before, just stuck in my craw. Austin Reeves, if you're trying to force a small screen, actually make contact on it. You're not there. If you're not trying to get the pick and pop, if that is not the goal of it, especially if you're a guard, try to actually make some contact on the screen. I kill bigs for it, especially when we do draft film. Smalls are even worse.
Yeah, it depends. If they are switching, it's better to slip out. If they're not switching, then it's better to set the screen.
Well, but the problem there is that McDaniels, he did so little that McDaniels didn't have to do anything. Like he just went straight through it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times just kind of being in the area will be enough.
Yeah.
To have them be able to get by, and then you can slip out. But I mean, I agree with you. If he's not actually getting the advantage, then set it.
Do you think the Lakers regret rescinding the Mark Williams trade? The hard the hardest element there is that we don't know why. Like, we don't know because if it was concern about a long-term injury, then no, they don't. And it was a lot to give up for a flawed player who wouldn't have made them but that much better. But if the goal was to maximize their chances of winning a series, winning a championship this year, then rescinding it was then rescinding it lowered those chances. And so that's why it's tricky is but the bigger problem, and this kind of ties in with my criticism of Rob Pelinka in terms of the buyout market, the bargain bin, whatever you want to talk about, is that that left them without any recourse to bring in anybody else. And the
Yeah,
buy
that process was the bigger problem, that they weren't 100% sure, and then any chance to rescind it and do something else, had passed at that point.
but in terms of
Um,
the
yeah.
Williams trade by itself, I don't think they regret it, knowing what we know, which is certainly incomplete.
Mark Williams, the idea of the Mark Williams trade was really more what he could be for them in the future. There's no way he would be getting more than 15 minutes a game in this series.
It would be great for Luca to have a big man who was a lob threat, and I mean for LeBron too, who wasn't horrible on defense, but Mark Williams only checks one of those two boxes.
So will Chris Finch respond here lineup wise? I don't think it's been as bad. I don't think the run of play has been as bad as 11-0. It's really been more the offense that's been the problem.
I mean, I would consider we've only seen him go to like the no go bear with a lot of the other guys more as like a break glass. I'd consider it, not saying permanently, but for a couple minutes just to kind of get some better shots. I mean, that look at that with Minnesota only getting 3 shot attempts in this stretch. That's a really big number. The worst
Well,
in offensive
particularly
rebounding.
because the Lakers have gotten 3 offensive rebounds, 2 of which led directly to threes.
Mhm.
They're sticking with the same group. Gobert was open on the slip. Randall didn't see him. Instead, they want to set up Edwards against Luca. This is Hachimura gapping off of Conley, and he couldn't get it to him. Not good enough there from Edwards. What I think you do there is pick up your dribble, take a step like you're shooting a layup, but you get past Hachimura that time, and that opens up the passing into the corner. 5 to shoot. Randall blows right by Luca. McDaniels wide open corner 3, not close. LeBron skies over Gobert for the rebound. Lakers can make it double digits here. James gets the matchup against Conley out to Luca. Great defense by McDaniels to cut him off, and then a cheapo foul call.
And that, by the way, since I criticized him before, that was a much better screen by Reeves to set up the switch on for LeBron.
Yeah, all right, he gets the arm on the shoulder a little bit there, but that's an absurd fall by Luca. Flare screen for Reeves. Now they want to bring LeBron off this Luca screen. Corner Hachimura closed out nicely by Gobert. Here's Reeves on the pump fake and fires and hits. Nice little jab step there to open up the space at the mesh point of the screen. Here's Conley switched onto by LeBron. He's got to get off the ball. Edwards goes to an impossible step back. Gobert does get the rebound. Back out. Conley, huge 3. They need it.
Oh,
No. Throw it ahead. LeBron, what a pass. And Conley blocked him.
that was clean.
Out of bounds. Wolves ball. And Conley is down. He made an incredible block. He must have got elbowed or something by LeBron here. Let's see it. Is
Oh,
it his
did he turn
ankle?
his ankle on
The
LeBron's foot?
something
I
happened.
think he turned his left ankle on LeBron's foot. I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I thought he was down like that because he got hit in the head. Conley will lace it back up. See how he can move. Yeah, it's interesting. He hits the ball there
Oh,
almost at the same time as he also hits LeBron's body.
I think it was Gobert's foot. Huh. I would need to see it again from maybe some slightly different angle. It seems like he's okay. By the way, we haven't talked. Anthony Edwards seems like he's moving all right after that scary
Yeah,
ankle sprain.
no, you're right. It done. Both he and Brunson avoided these scares, and they're going to take out Conley now.
And we're going supersized, Nate. Nas Reed for
Yeah.
Conley.
Although, yeah, DiVincenzo is also at the table. I imagine he's going to get Gobert right after this. Here's Reed going right at Luka. Good help from LeBron. Almost threw it away. Randall has it back to Edwards. Edwards, he just needs to go a little faster there, right? See, now they're in the gaps. He's going to blow by him anyway, step through and score. But you could have done that move 2 seconds earlier and it would have been a lot easier. Luka has been trapped near half court a number of times. Ooh, that was very close to a backcourt violation. Luka gets to the corner. Great closeout by Edwards. Reeves going to try and has to fire it off the side of the backboard.
There was 9 seconds on the shot clock when he took that.
I mean, just sort of kind of dribble it somewhere where you can make a pass. Here's McDaniels. Another blow by on Luka. Luka got hit in the face. No call. McDaniels out to the corner. Has all day. Finally, they get one, and Luka's still down. Looks like McDaniels had something to say there. He's going to go double Reeves. Gets it back to Luka. Luka, let's see if he's mad about getting hit in the face here and goes right at him. Rescreened by Finney-Smith. They don't give up the switch behind the back, under the foot, into the corner, and a shot clock violation. Luka going way too slow. He thought it was a kick ball. LeBron thought so too. I didn't see that it made contact, but the Lakers had a better view than me.
It was also extremely close to a shot clock violation, but that's why LeBron is so mad, is that it would have put 14 on the clock.
Oh, they said this was a kickball.
Yeah, and that was a kick. That was a bad call.
Top. Okay.
Lakers do not have a challenge available after the Austin Reeves play. Wolves do, but the Minnesota only has 3 timeouts left.
There's Edwards step back and Hachimura under his foot. That is a killer foul. Lakers were up 10. McDaniels got a 3. Edwards got a drive, and now Edwards can shoot 3 free throws to bring it back to a 1-possession game. On that kick ball, I'm not sure what the timing was. Is it possible the shot clock went off before the kick?
It was really tight. My instinct is no, because it was a reckless or poor decision by Austin Reeves to throw that pass with like 1 second left on the shot clock, but I think there was technically time left.
And Edwards missed that. Reed went for the rebound, but he knocked it out of bounds, upset with himself. He wasn't able to corral.
That is the 7th missed free throw for the Minnesota Timberwolves in this game.
But a 7-0 run has them back in contact. They're trying to set the screen out high for Luka. Randall switches onto him. Luka putting him in the mix here. McDaniels trying to come over to the nail. Luka on the drive. Tough pass in the corner. Close out by Edwards was beautiful. And they've thrown it away. Great defense there by Edwards. He managed to come over enough that Luka didn't feel like he could attack and then still get back to the corner shooter. Yeah, that's very good defense by Julius Randle. Reed gets it in. They want to send Edwards towards Luka. Now they wave him away. Instead, Edwards wants Hachimura, interestingly. Edwards blows by his man. Same move. LeBron stopped him that time. Randall is being held by Hachimura. They didn't call it.
Foul.
Randall along the baseline. What a tough sequence there by Randall. That is how you play through contact.
Yeah, that was at least 2 fouls.
Luka gonna try Randall again. He's stuck deep in the corner. Turns. Edwards should have come over more there in the strong side zone. Randall still staying with Luka. Oh, what a shot off the glass by Doncic. And he's got a smile for Randall. This is getting good. Edwards creates the space on Hachimura. Left it short. I thought he could have turned the corner there. Everyone getting a little tired now. LeBron, can he assert himself? Oh, bad steal. That is, and this is going to be an and one too. That's Dante DiVincenzo's defensive limitations in a nutshell there. He just is not reliable enough. He goes for too many gambles.
I mean, you're not going to pick LeBron there. It's not as egregious as like going after that on Luka, but it's a low opportunity, and then you run the risk of either an easy layup, and then also
and then he fouls him too.
He puts his hand back on him.
To getting that block.
I'm putting it in my notes.
No, nobody ever wants to hear that. That's a death knell for a player. He's putting it in his notes. Edwards getting a break up top this time. They square it to the corner. DiVincenzo blows right through, and then nobody boxed out McDaniels either. That's another Luka blow by that time. And Jerry Engelman posted this, that in the last two playoffs he played in, and Luka goes down. Are they going to give him this? A foul.
They are.
Right as it was going to be an 8-second violation. Second time Luka has tripped kind of himself and picked up the foul on McDaniels. That time McDaniels did trip him, though. He got the foot in there.
Third foul on Jaden McDaniels, third foul on the Timberwolves.
Now it's Alexander Walker with McDaniels getting a rest. 3 fouls for him. Double team on Luka behind the back. LeBron has it. Now Reeves. Good rotation by Edwards. Good rotation by Reed. And the passing is still one step ahead of it.
Yeah, that was great execution by the Lakers.
Great offense beating great defense that time. Edwards goes right at Finney-Smith.
I was surprised Luka didn't flop to try to get a foul on Ant there.
They're not going to switch Reed onto Luka. Double team way out there, and Luka not aggressive enough in these circumstances. Turn it over. Reed goes in. LeBron can't get the chase out. He actually crashed into the body of Reed, and JJ Redick is going to get a timeout. Luka complaining that he's getting pushed, but you're just not going to get that call. He needs to just, well, number one, they need to stop setting this screen so high. If you're going to set the screen high, even set it in the backcourt and set it when he has some momentum going forward. He's not moving, and so you're creating a trap against the half court line every single time. And they got out of it last time with like a great behind the back pass by Luka.
And remember that was the same thing that DFS did wrong in the first half. Where that play where he screened like right at the edge, and Luka and Dante got the steal.
Now, if you can get off the ball there, they have guys who can attack that, but they also just aren't really doing a great job. Like notice LeBron came to the ball on that one where they got the corner 3 and moved it really quickly.
Possession games so far. Actually, more even than I kind of thought. So right now, the Lakers have 10 turnovers, and they're being out rebound, and so it's 10 to 8 in terms of turnovers. But as we've gotten into with both second chance points and everything else, it's the Wolves have 15 points off of 10 Lakers turnovers, and the Lakers have 5 points off of Minnesota turnovers.
Yeah, Luka very displeased with Hachimura for not coming to the ball in that circumstance. But it's also that Luka is just not being aggressive. He's just tired, right? Like you can't throw a pass in that situation fading backwards. You got to be strong with the ball, pivot, step through, and give yourself a passing angle to where you can get some steam on the pass and you're not fading backwards. Why is Luka having so much trouble bringing the ball up? It's just that he's a little tired. He's always never been like, a super hard attacker in these circumstances, but also like they're setting a screen for him right at the half court line when he has no momentum going towards the basket.
And to me, when it's a non-rush situation and the Lakers have their guys on the floor, it should be Austin Reeves who's bringing the ball up. Like take a fewer of those miles off of Luka's tires. Let's see. Shot charts: Minnesota 9 of 20 in the restricted area, and then an additional 8 of 18 from on upper paint shots. So if you want to add that together, that is 17 of 38 in the paint. And they are out rebounding the Lakers, but not by a ridiculous margin. In terms of individually credited offensive rebounds, the margin is 16-9. But there are some team rebounds in there because the overall rates are a little different.
Yeah, see, Luka's looking for a passing angle, but getting himself all the way towards the sideline. Yeah, I would not put that on Hachimura. Luka is narrowing his passing cone so much by just sprinting towards the sideline there. Why can't Reeves get loose? Not really a great matchup to pick on. Part of
Minnesota
why
doesn't
he's
have bad
been so
defenders.
good. Yeah, so good is that with all three of those guys out there, he usually has an easier matchup. Now he's beaten some good matchups before too, but they're not. He doesn't have a conventional pick and roll guy to attack. Very interested to see what JJ Redick is going to do with the minutes here in this one. For Doncic and James, they went 22 in the first half. Sometimes they'll know like what the Nuggets did. You'll see these tactics with minutes kind of proliferate more. It like becomes more acceptable to play these guys more. Doncic behind the back, they move it. Hachimura right down the lane, nice play there. Pass faked the stunt man and got right to the basket. Edwards off the Iverson cut. Oh, that was a walk.
And he's behind the play. They should push.
Reeves going to do just that. Luka, LeBron, Edwards gets back into it. Oh, but they miscommunicated and finally get the open three. Finney Smith can't cash that out. Edwards finding Randall. He'll just shoot the three right over Luka, and it just rims out. LeBron looking to push it to a 3-possession lead here for the Lakers. Luka off the screen. Randall switching onto him. Luka goes to a tough step back. Randall was in his grill. Reeves hasn't been tried much. He's been in foul trouble. Randall, oh, they were lucky to recover that as it went off of his hands. Now it's DiVincenzo on a blow by over Hachimura, and it somehow lips in. And you could see that DFS was saying, hey, get over here, get over here. I would just like DFS to be able to stay in front of Dante DiVincenzo. I realize you're forcing him towards the baseline, but that can't be a help situation. Now off the double team, they're going to get a wide open three. Way too easy there. But with Luka starting to cook, they feel like they need to get out of his hands. Gobert is going to come back in now. Into the post, Reed guarded by Reeves. Announcer's nightmare there. Reed goes along the baseline, kicks it out. Randall had DiVincenzo open the corner. He missed him. Instead, he's going to drive. And I thought that might have been a blocking foul on Reeves. Randall not getting back now, though. Here comes Luka. Goes to the short bouncer off the glass. Not there. They've got
Cherry
Randall
pick.
ahead. Nice job by Hachimura getting back. Randall goes in, and he lifts it in.
And I thought that was another. There was a lot of contact. I think it was Reeves hit Randall on that one too. Could have called an and one.
Let's see if Reeves can get going a little bit here. LeBron is still in. Our all of Reeves, Luca, and LeBron going to go the whole way. Here's Hachimura. DiVincenzo came over, not there. The Wolves got to come up with something else here. You can't double team Luka Doncic like this. He was going to figure it out. Getting him into the middle of the floor has really been useful. And look where Reeves is off of DiVincenzo in the corner. Edwards goes in, and he's going to get fouled here. I thought he was going to put that on somebody's head. Good job getting the 2-for-1. Edwards, though, I think he needs to be a little bit more aware of how far off the corner these guys are gapping and find a way to make that guy guard him, and then you just throw it right to the corner for a corner three. The one time he tried it, he got his pass deflected, and he just needs to be a little bit better there. But regardless, he still is getting to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And Hachimura has been big in this quarter, mostly out of these double teams up top.
That's interesting. ESPN's graphic says that the Wolves are in the bonus, but I thought that was the Lakers' first foul in the last 2 minutes. We'll see.
Oh, that was a shooting foul anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why. Yeah. No, they actually did it right. Yeah, that's right. I did what TNT always does. I have no sympathy for myself or TNT.
It was just pointed out to me by Jace Frederick that the Lakers have not made a substitution in this entire quarter.
Oh shit! No, Jack. Oh yeah, because DFS started it. That's right. Wow.
Are they going to make? Are they to go the whole second half with no subs?
Are they going to super nuggets this?
And I was looking at that rather than whatever is supposedly
some
happening.
jawing with LeBron and Gobert.
Yeah, LeBron kind of started it. Gobert gave him a nice elbow to the back of the dome. That might end up being a flagrant foul. Well, so they are. How? Where's the dead ball part of it? Just that it wasn't.
It was
the
in
free throw was
actually,
made.
I think was it like a 5?
Or
Was
did
it a
he
lane
say
violation?
something afterwards?
Yeah, and as Naifun said, LeBron making that a thing does buy him more rest too, because they're going to do this extended review. They wouldn't have done it without that.
Yeah, reminder for those of y'all on YouTube, this will be our last YouTube stream of the playoffs. I hope you'll join us on playback. Here, let's see what he says. So it's not a technical anymore. It's a flagrant. Yeah, I think it is clearly
and it should be
a flagrant.
That's the right call.
Yeah.
Good job, Josh Tiffin.
Yeah. The especially because he contacted the lower skull. Let's see what Steve Javy has to say here. That's pretty big. LeBron. I don't remember him shooting this many free throws in a playoff game in a long time.
I will look it up at the next 15,
and he's only taken 7 field goal attempts in the game.
Now these are his 16th and 17th.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is like old school LeBron. I don't remember in these last couple of runs that he's had him getting this many free throws. But that's big. They can get a 4 or 5 point possession here to push it well over double digits.
Nate, the last time LeBron had 17 or more free throws in a playoff game, he did it once in 2020, and then before that, it was 2017.
Yeah. Does miss that one. So there was a technical and a flagrant. I didn't see where the technical part came in.
It was probably the arguing, but that
I guess
that could
so.
have been double technicals as much as I hate.
On Chris
On
Finch.
Finch.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a good technical, but they escaped that part at least. Now Luka wants to go at Gobert. They are blitzing him. Luka gets off the ball. They're going to get more here. Finney Smith in the corner. I thought Hachimura could have just finished that. Now Reeves stepping through. Oh, what footwork that is by Reeves. 10 seconds left. Back to Edwards. Edwards eluding LeBron. Double teamed himself. Gobert coming in. Gobert stopped and fouled with 3.4 remaining.
Don't reach on Rudy Gobert. He'll do all the work for you.
Yeah, I didn't think if you just wall up there, he's probably not going to make that shot. Look at this move, though. Again, DiVincenzo overeager, and that is awesome footwork by Reeves, who's had a rough game. These are big free throws here for Rudy Gobert right now. They really need these to get it back to 10. Got the first.
And I think that's 2 out of 3 for Rudy Gobert at the line now. And Nate, it looks like we're going to see 0 subs for the Lakers in the third quarter.
Yeah, by the way, for those of y'all on YouTube, you can now sync up playback. There is a rewind pause button. So now Luka's going to try it. Can he get it off? They force him to go sideways. That's good defense, and he's not close. But Wolves have a lot of work to do. Lakers up by 10. They are absolutely going for it. Hachimura has 20. James has 27 on 15 of 18 from the line. Doncic has 31. He's 5 of 10 from 3. That's the biggest reason they're blitzing him, by the way, Danny, is because he's hitting that 3. I think they're overreacting.
I think they're overreacting as
honestly,
well.
Because especially when you don't have Gobert back there, you're just going to give up too much too easy. I think you got to go more of just trusting your individual defenders. And that worked better, obviously, in game 3 when Luka was under the weather. But especially if they're going to have Reeves and LeBron out there, you can't blitz Luka. All right, quick break for me.
Just so people can keep it in mind, LeBron James has 3 career playoff games where he had 20 or more free throw attempts. 21 once in 2017, 24 twice. 2012 against the Celtics in an overtime game, and then 2009 against the Magic in a game they lost 89-99. That was early LeBron, of course. Early-ish. First Cavs tenure. And that was a big 36-23 third quarter in favor of the Lakers. Let's see if you have any questions. How many playoff games did Rudy Gobert play for the Utah Jazz? It was a lot. I mean, they made it. They made it a number of different years, but I can pull that number. That's not too hard for me to get.
Can I guess it?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to say that Rudy Gobert played 52 playoff games to Utah Jazz.
Pretty close. 49. Thoughts on the Towns-Randle trade at this point in the playoffs? I think one piece of context that's important here is that Julius Randle has a pretty favorable overall matchup in the series. His strength is a real advantage for him, and so the Lakers don't really have guys to take advantage of his weaknesses, and he's doing a good job. He's playing well though, but for me, and this is something I said about the Mikal Bridges trade as well. Towns was massive in the close, and the bad call notwithstanding, the Knicks are probably going to win this series now. The core problem that I had with the Knicks offseason was that they sacrificed so much overall capital to have a team that is good but not like great, and that's still true. And so I think so for that trade, Minnesota, I think that this will, if Minnesota advances to a future round, the difference between Towns and Randall will hurt them more. It's just kind of a funny circumstance. Towns was so useful for them against Denver. They're not playing Denver right now. Who knows if they will later on. And Randall has been more useful for them, I believe, against the Lakers than Towns would have been.
Well, they also got DiVincenzo, and they cleaned up their books, and they also got, what is it going to be, the 15th, 16th pick in the draft
Oh
this
yeah,
year?
we didn't expect that going in.
Yeah.
And yeah. And also like Towns' contract has a lot of potential negative value on the back end of that. We'll see what happens with Randall's next contract.
So they're going to keep Randall on the floor and Edwards. And the Lakers still have not made a substitution. Edwards drains the three-pointer. Down to 7. Great start for Minnesota, even though it wasn't a great offensive possession. Let's see if they're going to change up their defense now. This is Randall at center. No Reed, no Gobert. LeBron finding Reeves. Reeves has been locked in from three-point range. That's a tough shot.
Austin Reeves, 0 points in the first half, now 14 in the second half.
Edwards fires right back.
Ooh.
Another three-pointer, 3 in a row by these teams to start the fourth quarter. I don't want Edwards to just fall in love with the 3, though. They're going to bring up Mike Conley. Get him onto Reeves. Reeves on the attack. Tough 3. That was not good enough there. He's got to get a better shot than that. I think he thought he was more open than he was. Remember, Conley hurt the ankle. He's back in looking okay. Here's Edwards. Oh, beautiful change of speeds by Anthony Edwards, but he smoked the layup. Thought he got hit on the arm, but that's, you got to finish that over Dorian Finney-Smith. Here's Luka working McDaniels into the lane. Oh, he sent him flying. Left it well short. Finney-Smith blocked from behind by Edwards. Wolves got to get more guys into the rebounding zone.
They're pretty small right now relative to their standards.
Here's Doncic, and he's going to be tripped. That's a third time that McDaniels has tripped him.
And that is the 4th personal on McDaniels. So this lineup is Randall at the 5, McDaniels at the 4, Conley, Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, Finney-Smith has been solid as a go guy. Didn't see a ton of contact there.
No, that was pretty. That seems pretty soft to me.
Did they bang knees?
I don't think so.
What happened? And Luka's like acting like he got hurt. I didn't see. Maybe he might have slammed into a chair.
Luka Doncic's night so far: 31 points, 12 of 23 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3.
This is a set of circumstances that I think favors the Lakers. That this game is small and the Lakers are able to get to the basket. Like, they just have better small players than the Wolves do. Like, putting Julius Randle at center, you have to have some rim production. Do we see Gobert even come back in at all?
I think we will, but I don't know how it'll happen.
Conley wants it into Randle against Hachimura. McDaniels tries to cut, then clears out, and we'll get Hachimura with a blocking foul here before the dunk.
And Hachimura wasn't really squared up, used his right arm to wrap Randle. And I think Randle's gotten a little bit of a rough whistle in this game. I think they've been a little more physical with him in the call. That's a defensive foul.
They are picking on Hachimura quite a bit. I don't know why they wouldn't go after Reeves. Maybe they feel like if Hachimura is out on the floor, you can get by him, and then there's no one winning at the rim. This is DiVincenzo. Tough play there in the corner, but Randall fighting on the offensive glass keeps it alive for Minnesota.
This is a frequent refrain, but Minnesota is taking too long to get into their stuff.
Yeah. But the fatigue level with everyone going the whole second half, Edwards has much more of an offensive load. With the Lakers, you can get away with it because you have 3 guys who can initiate the offense. Here's McDaniels crossing up on LeBron, and LeBron stripped him. Good job by Minnesota getting back. Well, until now, where Edwards and Randall didn't get back, and Luka misses the floater. That could have pushed it to double digits. There's Randall's 3, goes after his own rebound. This is exhaustion right now. LeBron with his second straight stop. What defense from LeBron James.
And when they're not playing a center, they're not really playing. The only other big they're playing is Rui Hachimura. You need this from LeBron James.
Yeah, I would at least have Reed out here. He's also one of their best shooters. And DiVincenzo is going to get called for a shove.
Yeah, he pushed DFS setting up for the screen. That's a foul.
Yeah, LeBron just gets the strip here. Nice help by Doncic, but McDaniels hasn't been nearly as effective in this one. And then LeBron knows that Randall's going to come back to his left hand, and he blocked him there too. Back screen for Reeves. Good pressure by Randall. LeBron looking to rip through here. Finally does it. Randall is staying with him. LeBron turns, kicks out. Do they have time? No, they don't.
No, it was late. Oh, but it went in, but it was late.
Go in, but it was well late. And that was great defense by Randall. He helped Alula on the back screen, was there when LeBron caught the ball, and then didn't get beat either and forced the shot clock violation. Randall's been good on LeBron.
Yeah, done a very nice job.
Gobert is back in. I approve of this substitution. I think they need to get bigger, play to their strength. Edwards getting past Hachimura. Out to Randall. 3-pointer. Just missed. Gobert can't keep it alive. Oh, and someone ran into his leg. He was fouled.
And to me, that was too aggressive by Luka helping off the strong side corner. Like, what was he going to do and help defense there?
Well, I think he was getting ready to rotate down onto Gobert. And Gobert gets this. And Gobert actually elbowed Reeves while he was getting shoved in the back. Yeah, he got him pretty good across the bridge of the nose. Pretty physical game there. I don't even know who the foul is on, honestly.
Gobert fouled. Oh, no, they called the foul on Reeves.
Yeah, no, it was always.
Yeah, but then he got drilled in the face. Yeah.
A reminder again, we are switching to playback in part because we make money on playback. We don't make any on YouTube. Also, YouTube, the ads can be a little bit annoying there. We don't really make very much off those ads. And also, I think playback is the superior platform.
Yeah.
So,
and has a rewind button now on mobile and on desktop. So it's the functionality is improved, and it's a great product. And especially if you have League Pass and can make it work, it's even better. It's a perfect product.
Yeah, we also will be doing Sunday and Thursday nights the pod live on playback as well. So that's another benefit. Here's the blow by Ant, gets his man in the air, went to that same move. That is such a cheeky move. This is the playoffs of that WNBA step through, Danny. Everyone is doing it now. And it's really hard to stop. Reeves getting Conley switched onto him. Conley defended him well last time. Gets it to Luka from the hash mark. Oh, just squirted out. Step back, Edwards. Big three.
Ooh.
It's a 4-point game. He went after Reeves. Timeout by JJ Redick. I would say he's calling timeout to maybe make a substitution, but we all know that's not true.
And so, in terms of the remaining timeouts, each team has 3. The Lakers have used their challenge. Minnesota's is still available.
I would bet, Danny, that there's no way JJ Redick would do this in the second half if David Adelman hadn't basically done the same thing yesterday.
Gave him cover. I agree. And I mean, I think they would have an opportunity to give somebody a rest. Like they don't need all 3 of their creators on the floor at all times. They could do like a few minutes of Vincent or Vanderbilt or something
Yeah,
else.
like Vincent could swap in. I could see going 6 guys. Like part of it was just that Reeves got plenty of rest in the first.
Sure.
And they can swap among these guys. And I think he also has kind of baited Chris Finch into going small as well. I liked Finch going back to Gobert.
Yeah. And I still think there's a part for Naz Reid to play in the rest of this game. It hasn't been the best Naz Reid performance, but he brings something.
Catch up on some of the stats. 16 of 38 from downtown for the Lakers. Luka is 5 of 11. Reeves is 4 of 7. Hachimura, 4 for 9, the leading three-point shooters for the Lakers. Wolves haven't gotten as many up. Edwards has been unbelievable. 38 points, 12 of 21, 4 assists, and only has 1 turnover.
Yeah. Offensive rebounding, Minnesota has a 40% offensive rebound rate, but the points off of it, second chance points, it's basically even. 20 for Minnesota, 19 for the Lakers.
Is that a real quote where Edwards said he was hanging with Steph at USA shooting contest, so he said he was going to shoot more threes?
I would buy it. That's the type of thing Anthony Edwards would say. He's amazing.
Why has the NBA been unwilling to fix flopping? FIBA's solved it. I don't know. Have they solved it? I guess in the sense that
more like ref baiting, I think.
Yeah. Like flopping. Yeah, are you thinking that like the straight line pathway, he's got it being forearmed and throws up a shot that's flopping? I mean, I agree on that. Like they should fix that. But the reason why is because everything has to be objective. They won't just there has to be an objective definition. It's also because they want to crack down on contact in the perimeter, and that is a quote unquote foul if you've got your forearm on the guy when he's trying to drive to the basket. They've generally allowed more contact now in the last year and a half or so. So I think they're getting there. It's a lot. Like if you go back and watch a game for like 2017, like that was terrible. Best defensive game from LeBron this series. Yeah, he was good in game 2 as well, but I think this has been his best. This has been an awesome performance by him.
And your point about the objective standard is also the reason why the clear path foul is just not as good in the NBA. Is that it should be an intent call.
They want to go after Gobert here. Drop coverage this time. Good dig by Conley. Tough fadeaway by Luka. Like they just have to live with that shot. Yeah, they just have to live with it.
That was a great contest by McDaniels.
Yeah, they didn't give up the pick and pop. Lakers going zone here for the first time to try to take it out of Edwards' hands. Good denial by LeBron on Edwards. Is this actually like a box in one, possibly? Randall finds Conley in the corner. Beautiful distribution, but Conley can't cash that out. They needed that 3. Could have made it 1 possession.
Oh, Edwards that was very close to an 8-second.
Yeah. We might see a few more of those. Doncic, stopped by Edwards. It goes right to Reeves. Now Reeves has to try Edwards. Against the drop coverage, he fires the 3 off the glass. Not even close. He was trying to draw the foul late in the clock. Edwards against LeBron. Good gap by Luka. Here's McDaniels. Gets one of his first attacks. That was beautiful recognition by Edwards to see where the help was coming from and set up McDaniels who's been really effective attacking closeouts in this series. Again, Luka over with very little time remaining. They get Hachimura at the foul line, kick out LeBron. Oh, beautiful pass there by LeBron to Reeves, and he can't get it. Reeves has been so good from three-point range, but he's just missed 2 in a row. Edwards has been unstoppable here in the fourth. He gets Hachimura onto him. Double team coming from Reeves. Blows by under the opposite side. Kick out Randall. Catch and shoot. 3 is off. Conley with the rebound. Back to Randall. Randall down the lane. Steps around Luka and can't finish. Tipped out. Randall still gets it.
I think that's
a loose ball. I think this is going to be on Finney-Smith.
It is
unbelievable hustle from Julius Randle.
Also, that was a blocking foul on Luka Doncic. Yeah, Finney-Smith plays the man, not the ball, and so that is absolutely a loose ball foul on him. Third team foul on the Lakers.
This is just unbelievably physical. What a war. Can the Wolves overcome LA, who've not made a substitution in the entire second half? DiVincenzo is now in for Conley. This looks like it could be the closing group for Chris Finch.
We can't let Tibbs see this film or yesterday's. Like, wait, that's allowed?
More zone now for LA. Edwards directing traffic down to 6. They want to get Luka involved. Edwards fires for 3 at the mesh point. Randall can't get the rebound that time. It bounced away from him. Little bit too slow getting into the offense. Randall on Luka. Luka hit a step back 3 on him in the third quarter. Randall's looking tired after that attempt to get the rebound. Luka getting to his right. Help off of Reeves in the corner. Luka has to just fire the 3, and he's fouled. An awful foul by Randall. He had nothing.
By the way, LeBron James has not taken a shot, free throw, or field goal in the entire fourth quarter so far. Oh, such a bad call. I mean, such a bad foul, not bad.
Did he foul him though?
He did. There was enough there was enough contact there.
I don't know. Would you consider a challenge here? Do they have one still?
They do. Minnesota has one here.
I mean, maybe he gets him down low with the forearm. They're not going to challenge it, obviously. And this has been incredible how hard Randall has played. Everyone is just leaving everything out there.
And this series, I believe it's every other day the rest of the way. Yeah, they play again.
Oh, yeah. Every other day with a 2,000-mile flight in between every game.
Oh, no, that's wrong. It's actually, is it not till Wednesday? Just a sec, I'm going to pull the actual.
Maybe you're right, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, okay. So there's an extra day.
That's good, honestly. I'm glad of that. I especially with the travel in this series. All 3 free throws for Doncic, who has had his struggles from the foul line at times in the playoffs. That was huge. Randall had him totally contained. There is no way that shot was going in. Reed is in now for Gobert. They want to get Randall in the post, give Edwards a break. Reed is just going to back down on Austin Reeves. Reeves did well not to have the arm forward and foul, but that is a really tough matchup. And the way that the Wolves are shooting it right now, the Lakers didn't want to bring help. Good change up there by Chris Finch, but now Luka has Reed on him. They are not going to double team. Doncic going to look for the step back here. Instead, into the lane, goes in, and he blew it. Had the look. This is McDaniels. Gets it back to Reed. 3-pointer.
Oh,
2-point game.
Didn't track the trailer there. Huge for Naz Reid.
Love that substitution by Finch. I think he's coached a really nice fourth quarter. Realized that the Randall at center wasn't working. Realized that the double teaming on Luka wasn't working. and they were getting it just too easy. And he's gone back to what makes the Wolves, and they are right back into this.
Foul situation. Foul situation. Thankfully, nothing too big as of now. DiVincenzo has 4. McDaniels has 4. Reeves has 4, but no one has 5. Timeouts. Lakers have 2. This is Redick's last, and I expect we will see the Ulioli from Minnesota. Though, do you consider not using it?
Take it. They have more depth in the game. They're out hustling the Lakers right now. I thought Udoka made this mistake yesterday to take his when you had Steph and Draymond both pretty tired.
From C. Francis, has Randall gotten a harsh whistle compared to LeBron and Doncic? Feels like it. I agree. I think Julius Randle's gotten a harsh whistle in this game.
So from the Lakers standpoint, there isn't really the guy to go after. I would see if I could get DiVincenzo involved.
Sure.
Might try to even get LeBron James down in the post and see if you can maybe get some kind of a shooting set, get a little system bucket, someone going backdoor, like Reeves setting a back screen for Hachimura, something like that, just to get a quick, easy one. They haven't gotten a system bucket. Everything has just been straight ISO. And LeBron is needed, obviously, for defense, but I think him in the post against a smaller player, maybe you get Luka off the ball and then you can swing it to him or Reeves and let them attack. But I would like to see LeBron make the initial decision here. Yeah, there's no foul trouble for anybody here at all, as you noted. This is going to be an incredible finish. Remember last game, it was tied right about this time, and Anthony Edwards brought the Wolves home. He was starting to look a little bit tired, but they got 2 buckets in a row from Reed to bring it to a 2-point game. The Lakers have 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 18-10 for Minnesota after the Lakers had a big 36. And, oh, well, they had all these big personnel changes. Nope, same people on the floor.
Yeah, Bulldog notes that Luka has 1 assist. I think that understates his passing and his impact because they were doubling him a lot, and he was making the first pass that then led to some pretty easy buckets later on in the possession.
Yeah, like Rui Hachimura having 10 points in the third quarter. That's more about that even if Luka is not credited with assists.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Luka missed that layup, though. He's usually so reliable there. And then he also, I was probably the guy that should have rotated to Reed that time too. Reeves will bring it up. He's got Edwards on him. That's a big reason why Reeves has not been as good in this series. Luka at the elbow. They're going to try to bring LeBron across the formation. Edwards is there to block him. What a play by Edwards. They get it back to Randall. And they've got Reeves on Edwards. Just get out of his way. Or get out of his way now with Luka, too. Who's going to come and help? Hachimura is trying to creep up to maybe do it. Edwards, step back for the lead. No, he's fouled. Fouled on the arm, and the Wolves can take the lead under 4 minutes to go.
And it was funny on that play, Luka's isolating on Ant on Luka. I was thinking they could go to Randall on Reeves there.
Just got him on the forearm. That is the right call. It is not high five contact. That would occur after the ball is released and hand to hand like this. He prevents the follow through. Clear foul.
And the Lakers do not have a challenge available. They do have 2 timeouts. Minnesota has 3 timeouts for another 47 seconds, and they have their challenge left.
Yeah, and I would say they should not take it.
Agreed.
The Lakers have not had a defensive answer in this series for Anthony Edwards, particularly in these games at Target Center, and he has 41 points. And the Wolves have their first lead since it was 61-60. 3:41 left. Reeves picks up his dribble in an awkward place. LeBron going to set the screen. They want Randall on Luka. LeBron gets it to the corner. Hachimura, instant decision there. They decided to double. Julius Randle is looking at the bench like, are we doubling? Are we not doubling? And Chris Finch is going to take the timeout. Now, maybe you do take it to decide what you're going to do there because I think they miscommunicated. Yeah, I think McDaniels comes over too far there. LeBron James, instant read to Hachimura.
And Rudy Gobert was in on that play for Naz Reid. I hadn't caught that.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the other reason they took this timeout then. So back to a 2-point game. We've seen so many of these sequences where one huge shot has been answered by another. And I will give some credit to Rui Hachimura. I thought he was going to be a weak link for this group as well. Part of why they have, to me, exceeded expectations since they got Luka is that he has been this guy that JJ Redick trusts to play the entire second half. And he's not a great guy moving his feet on the perimeter, but he makes shots. He's making plays out of the short roll situations and has been effective for them.
Would you send two at Edwards here? I wouldn't as a base thing, maybe situationally. Ooh.
Shooting set for Reed.
Reed!
Again, they go right back to him. Chris Finch catches him napping, and the Wolves are back. 3 straight three-pointers again. Now Luka. Ooh, Hachimura setting a legal screen there. Rescreen. Reed is on Doncic. Do they double here? Force him left. Tough step back. He's fading. Left it short.
What a
great
rebound
there by Randall. That was Finney Smith in position to get that. Randall has been the baddest man on the floor from a rebounding perspective. Here's Edwards. Puts his foot in the ground. Not a good shot there. No. He had to, could have moved it. Now nobody's picking up in transition, but Edwards just stops Reeves no problem by himself. Doncic try and read again. Gets off the ball. Hachimura closed down. Back out top. Doncic has Reeves in the corner. That's beautiful recognition, but Reeves missed it. That was a great shot. Double team. Edwards trying to get out of it. He's trapped in the corner. Gets off the ball. Randall is wide open. It's sent DiVincenzo for the finish.
And a foul.
What a take.
I did not expect that to go the way it did.
Randall was wide open in the corner. Instead, Dante DiVincenzo had a runway.
And that is a foul on
the right leg of Hachimura is going to get him here.
And his left arm. Rui's left
got
arm
him on
gets
the
him in
arm
the chest.
too. That was a beautiful finish. Big free throw here to make it a 2-possession game. He's got it. Can the Lakers summon something here?
And we're going to see probably
struggling.
And we're not going to see a stoppage for a while unless there's a foul.
I would take one as JJ, as this is going to be a hold off the ball. Lakers not in the bonus. What is the bonus situation? Because is that in the last 2 minutes?
No, it is not. It shouldn't be deemed that way because but that is Minnesota's 4th foul anyway. But because it's the same as the 8-second rule, but the counter, that's 2 minutes and something, so it's not inside the last 2 minutes. That is how I would adjudicate it.
Yeah, they're not saying that it's in the bonus yet. That was a foul on Randall, though. Flare screen. Oh, Randall didn't react. Not good enough there from Julius Randle. He and Ant miscommunicated. Great little play call on the sideline out of bounds. Doing some actual screening action at this point in the game can really cause some tired players to make mistakes. They try the same play. LeBron blocks Dante DiVincenzo off the slip. They throw it ahead. Reeves, he's not going to take the three. He drives instead. This is Finney-Smith for the lead. That's good.
And a great job of pushing that. Minnesota's guys were back super late there.
Yeah, DiVincenzo just got knocked into the next planet by that block and just didn't get up. They tried the slip. LeBron sniffed it out. At 40 years old, this is an unbelievable block. Look where he is there. Reeves eschewed his own corner three and set up Finney-Smith instead. What a run by the Lakers with 6 straight points right as the Wolves had taken a 2-possession lead.
And to do it on 2 threes as well. Whew. Whew.
Finch taking his timeout now, and we'll have to see what he's going to dial up. I would think that they might try to get it to Reed. These ATOs have been for him. Yeah, they ran, to go back to that last play, they ran the same play that they ran with the flare screen for Reed, had DiVincenzo slip out, and LeBron was just 100% ready. He can still get up off that nuclear-powered left calf. Look where he is on that. And if it is Edwards, he's 5 of 10 from 3. I do want him to try to get to the basket and maybe draw a foul. Edwards looking for Doncic. They don't give up the switch. It's loose. Reed is going to try LeBron. Goes into him, stripped. LeBron again. How many of those has he had in the second half?
And how many in crunch time? That's 2 in crunch time.
They tried to get the matchup. They couldn't, and they had to go at the Lakers' best defensive player. Now Doncic can put Minnesota into difficulty with a bucket here. Gets off the ball. LeBron really far out. Misses. Rebounded by McDaniels. They need to push the ball here. They can get a 2 for 1. Down by 2. Edwards double teamed. Staying on the ball. Gets it to Reed. Underneath, it's McDaniels. And one. A Dirk Nowitzki, Manu Ginobili-esque foul there from Austin Reeves, who had no chance at the block.
And that totally changes the calculus here, because now instead of it being a tie game, Minnesota has the chance to go up 1.
Beautiful pass by Naz Reid. Reeves not close to it in the end, got him in the head. Free throw's good from McDaniels. Ice free throw for him. Lakers should take a timeout and get
absolutely.
the 2 for 1. They're not going to do that.
And they're going to move slowly.
Too slow getting it across. They're not going to get a 2 for 1 here. Luka goes down. He now gets the timeout.
It was a big.
That is 4 times actually in this second half that Luka has tripped when guarded by McDaniels, and the referees finally were not going to give him the call. And that's the danger of foul baiting like that.
Oh, he did actually trip him that time. Luka stepped on his foot.
The danger of it is you're just not going to get the call every single time. No one is going to get a call every single time that they're fouled. But good timeout by Luka. They can't advance the ball, so they do have to get the ball in the front court pretty quickly here. What is that, 17? But Redick blew it there by not taking the timeout to begin with to set up the 2 for 1.
Yeah, agreed.
But now with 33 left, you're pretty hard pressed, I would say, to get a 2 for 1. I think maybe you run, and they can't really run a sideline out of bounds play. They're too deep for that. So I think that you need to just run whatever your best thing is to score, regardless of the time situation. They would have to score within 3 seconds here to feel comfortable about getting a 2 for 1. So James going to inbound into the backcourt, and they have to get this into the front court. They have 1 second just about here. Reeves. Oh, he's closed down. Oh, it's stolen. They didn't get it in. There's still 8-second differential. They want to get Luka in this screening action. Don't give up the switch. They don't. Now they're going to double team. DiVincenzo. Edwards wants to get it back. DiVincenzo's going to try Reeves one-on-one. Gets in the lane. Hands off to Edwards. He goes down. It's off his leg.
And Edwards wants a challenge, but what would the challenge be? Would that be a foul?
He's trying to get a foul, and Finch is going to take it here. This is a good challenge, I would say. Although they would only have, well, if it's a foul, they are in the bonus. So it would be free throws. This is a good challenge here, I would say.
Well, especially because this is a 1-point game, not a 2. So it's unlikely to go to overtime as Presley constructed. So if there's not a foul.
By the way, who got that strip again?
LeBron James.
This is not a foul, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean,
unless Luka did something on the backside.
And trip him? Let's see. What's the right foot at Edwards? Nah.
No.
This looks pretty clean to me.
And there's not really a push. Nah. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I appreciate going for this challenge. Yeah, let's see. Just saying it's under review.
Okay.
Well, so the downside of using your last timeout here is if the Lakers score, you then will not be able to advance the ball.
Well, isn't this their second to last?
No. Remember, they used one with 1:30 left.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is not going to be a foul, though. I would be very aggrieved if it is. I mean, James, this is just an incredible performance by him. He hasn't done much in the fourth quarter offensively, but he's been incredible on the defensive end. I mean, how many just pure stops has he had? He's probably had like 8 or 9 in the second half of guys trying to drive into the lane where he's either stripped them or blocked them.
And 3 in the last minute and a half of the game.
Yeah, so what they said here is with this timeout being taken by the Lakers, because Minnesota within 30 seconds decided to challenge, it switches to Minnesota's timeout.
Which means the Lakers have 1 remaining.
I think that's correct. But and if they wanted to, the Wolves could also just take a timeout back to back with the Lakers timeout here too, and that would enable them to challenge it, I believe, as well. But I think the rule is within 30 seconds if the other team takes a timeout. Yeah, I don't see. If you guys in the comments see anything here, I don't see it.
But really it's Divin. Random clear path.
Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa. Okay. He might get him on just the wrist there. That above. But I think he's also hitting the ball there. You can't see it from that angle. He also is hitting the ball. Let's see.
Wow. Illegal contact.
What a challenge. I mean, that is tough, though, because, like, can you see that he hits the ball there?
Yeah, because if he gets ball first, so this is 2 free throws. Oof.
Wait a minute. So the Lakers, the Lakers are charged this timeout, they said. So can they not advance the ball now? Well, 2 huge free throws here for Ant
first. Says they do have 1 left.
And he does. I thought Tiffin said they don't. The Lakers are still charged the timeout. He might have just misspoke.
I think he misspoke.
I think he meant Minnesota is still charged the timeout because that was their last one. You don't retain it on your second challenge. And he gets them both. They're going to bring it in full court.
They shouldn't.
Got to get a 3 here. Those Minnesota foul.
Foul now.
They don't do it. LeBron gets to the corner. Reeves is open for the tie. Just missed. They did not elect to foul. They had plenty of chances to do that. I think because they didn't take the timeout, they had the timeout. It was a good idea not to take the timeout to let them set up the foul. And they double teamed along the sideline. What a game. What a finish. What do y'all think about that overturn on the foul? Let's watch the end here first before we talk about that. They get it into Luka. Try to set a screen. Reed switches on to him very seamlessly. Randall came up to go get him. And that was surprising to me that they did that because that opened up the corner. And Reeves, man, he had a few wide open ones here. Edwards rotated to LeBron. That could have tied it.
Wow. And still 2 more games today.
When are we on next? That is a great question. So it's not going to be tomorrow.
I think I know what you're going to want. So it is a potentially an interesting Wednesday slate. However, one of the games is Clippers Nuggets.
On Wednesday?
Yeah. No, on Tuesday.
Then there's also
on
this
Tuesday.
game. This
on
series. Oh, yeah.
No,
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So Clippers Nuggets Tuesday, and then this one on Wednesday. We got to do both of those, obviously. So, yeah, thanks everyone who is joining us on YouTube. I'm going to put the link in the YouTube comments one more time. There's also an app you can download if you want to go that route. And even if you have NBA League Pass, if you're international, you can easily just watch us I think in Australia it doesn't work in one window. But if you have a VPN, just set it, I think, like England or Mexico works. And if you have League Pass, then you can just watch this whole thing in one window and you don't have to worry about the whole sync up. But there's also a rewind/pause button on playback as well. So playback.tv/Nate Duncan NBA. And we're also going to be on late tonight to discuss these 2 ridiculous games here. And we still have 2 more to go.
Games.
Thanks everyone for joining us.